awesome. Did you already do it, or are you getting ready to do your first one? Bam, nailed it. Yo, of course, Diamond, of course. Only the best game, of course. I'm just kidding. There's a lot of great games out there, and I definitely wish I could play them all. Generally speaking, it's bad manners to ask another streamer to host yours publicly, Diamond. Generally speaking, that's not very good manners to ask for. I will think about it, but generally speaking, if you go into most streamers' chats and ask them to host you, they're not gonna like it. What's up, Divine Rain? How's it going? What do I think is the best looking level in the trilogy? If I had to choose one, that's really difficult. One across the entire trilogy is that's really hard to choose. I think that the jet ski levels in Crash 3 actually look gorgeous. Aside from the controls, like, they actually look just amazing, period. I think that Crash 1 probably is the most improved game visually across the entire trilogy. Like, this just looks amazing. You can already tell by looking at the island. You can already tell just by looking at the island without even going into a level that it's really awesome. Yo, Laurnius, what's going on, man? Long time no see. How you doing? But yeah, no problem, Diamond. We just want to make sure you're aware, because there are some unspoken, like, rules of etiquette on Twitch, especially involving, like, you know, self-promotion or things like that, that are, you know, generally unspoken rules of Twitch. And unless you're around a lot and watch a lot of different streams, like, you may not understand at first. So don't take it the wrong way. It's basically just an education on some of the etiquette rule, some of the unspoken etiquette rules on Twitch. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. The music in Jungle Rollers kind of pops off, though. I never really realized how good it is. Is there no slide on Crash 1? Just like the original Laurnius, there is no slide in Crash 1 in the Insane Trilogy. The movesets are identical to their original counterparts. So if you think about it this way, you know, if you can't slide in Crash 1 in the OG games, you're not going to be able to in the Insane Trilogy. There's no power-ups except for the speed shoes. That is the one exception in Crash 2 as well. So you can't do anything like in each of the games that you weren't able to do in the originals. Oh yeah, the Arabian levels look amazing, and they're my favorite looking levels in the original Crash 3. They definitely did not disappoint in the Insane Trilogy either. They look awesome. Oh no! Man, that happened again. That's rough. I hear that guy's pretty alright, Bucket. I hear that guy's pretty alright. I'll second that. I'll second that notion. Wow, we just barely made it through. That's awesome. Made it through that, too. That's actually really cool. We were able to make it through those cycles. That is very cool. Couldn't get a run going. I would say Mikula definitely be very quick to be very slow to reset at this point, because you never know what can happen in the late game. You never know what can happen later on. I see what you did there, Bucket. What's going on, Games Reviews? How's it going? Stuck in Jaws of Darkness. Jaws of Darkness is a difficult level. It's not quite as technically difficult as some of the other levels in the game, but the checkpoints are really far apart. So it can be a little frustrating if you do get stuck. Totally understandable. But that being said, patience is a virtue. And how are you doing otherwise, as a matter of fact, aside from the Jaws of Darkness? How's everything going for you? Sometimes that happens, Mikula. Sometimes that happens. You just gotta roll with it. Just because the top runners reset in Snow Go after a death doesn't mean that you need to. It really only starts to matter once you get to a certain skill level. Like, I would say once you get closer to like a 55, like once you get to like a 55 or like closer to a 50, then you might have to start resetting to Snow Go deaths, but you really don't have to. You really don't have to, though, in general. You can reset a lot less often than you think. And I think that's something that is a common misconception with speedrunning, especially if you watch a lot of top runners who reset a lot to failing things early. Like, it makes sense why they do it, but I think for most people, you really shouldn't. Like, a lot of times you should just keep the run and see what happens. Slippery Climb's another level that's pretty difficult because it's pretty difficult and has a huge space in between checkpoints. So that level definitely can be a common choke point. Partially because it is so punishing. Wow, that was interesting. I think I ended up spinning away the fish without realizing it, and just basically like killed a bunch of enemies and blew up a TNT, and like all kinds of things happened. It was like a chain reaction. I probably could have gone for that. I think so, but it doesn't really matter that much. It's not a huge deal. Yo, Ultra Stars, thank you for the host, and welcome back, by the way, Hideva. I mean, Crash 2, like, you see a lot of runners reset a lot in Crash 2. So, like, I think that a lot of times, like, especially back when I was first starting to run Crash 2, like, there were a lot of, like, very active, like, highly skilled runners that would reset a lot in the early warp. So in your mind, subconsciously, you're like, oh, I died and they reset, so I should reset too. And that's not necessarily true. Don't tell me it's a full trilogy speedrun. I don't have to tell you. My title can tell you. So you're in luck, Ultra Stars. How's it going, man? It's picnic percent? Well, hopefully we've gotten our picnic out of the way and that there won't be another one. Poor Papu Papu. He, like, really sounds like he's struggling in this boss battle. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds like he's having a really hard time in this boss battle in particular. Okay, so there's still some time we can save on the Great Gate by getting invincibility, but that was a pretty solid Papu split. The PS1 version, I think it really depends. It really depends, Games Review. I think the PS1 version is a little bit easier for any percent, but it's harder for a hundo. Being able to die in all of the clear gem levels in this game is really, really nice. It's definitely very frustrating to treat every level like a colored gem level in what's it called? In the original Crash 1. That's definitely very, very frustrating if you're going for that sort of thing, or if you're doing a hundo speedrun as well. What is the race? The 1545. If you type exclamation 1545 in chat to like Mikula has done, you get a handy dandy description there. So basically the 1545, if you're already familiar with the Mario 602, then you'll kind of see where this is going. So basically, think the Mario 602, the Sprash Fecta, and the Rareware 301%, which are huge, very long multi-game endurance speedrun categories. They are all combined into a relay race for the 1545. If you add up all the percent of the Sprash Fecta, the Rareware 301%, and 602 stars from the Mario 602, that's how you get 1545. For the average person with average knowledge of every game, which I don't think there is one that exists, the run will take 53 hours. So obviously one person is not going to be able to do very much. But the 1545 is actually a relay race. So there are teams of, I believe, 6 to 8 runners. There are 6 teams of about 6 to 8 runners that are going to be competing against one another. And I personally am going to be doing the original Crash 2 Hundo and Crash 3 105 for the happy little speedrunners, the yellow team. And it's going to be cool. It's definitely going to be really cool to watch. It's coming up this weekend. It's coming up this weekend starting at... my run is actually the first one for my team. It starts at 2 p.m. Pacific U.S. time. So you have to convert that into your time zone. Did I catch some SGDQ this week? I did, actually. I did catch some of it. I caught a good amount of it yesterday. Like, I got to watch SM64, got to watch a little bit of Super Panga World. I did watch a little bit of FF7. The one problem with FF7 is it actually started overnight for my time zone. So I was unfortunately asleep through most of it. But it was very cool. Yo, what's going on, Super Spyro? How you doing, man? And what's up, Rider of Phoenix as well? How are you today? What a casual. Needs teammates to do the 1545. 53 hours is nothing. I think you'd be fine like the first 24 hours, but then after that is when it would start to get really, really difficult. Oh, interesting. Spike Vegeta's singing was pretty much the single best part of the run. Wait, which run? Was that the Kingdom Hearts or not Kingdom Hearts? I saw pictures on Twitter of like various streamers like singing, but I don't know what happened there. Like, I don't really know why. And yo, thanks for the good luck, Ryder. I appreciate it. Wow. Okay, so it might actually be better to run to the right there. That might be a top tip. That might be a top tip right there. SMG2 is a long game, but usually people who are running SMG2 only do that game. So in this race, a lot of people who are doing double duty are people like me who are running shorter categories. But yeah, the SM64 run was awesome. Like a mid 141 at AGDQ or at SGDQ is actually fantastic, honestly. Oh, okay, Ryder. That makes sense then. What's up, Ilan and Cole Chris? How are you guys doing? Dude, it's going, Cole Chris. It's definitely going. It's definitely going. I hope you're having a awesome Sunday, man. Friendly reminder to bunny hop in this game. What's going on, server? How you doing, buddy? That's fine. That feel when you don't jump properly. Bucket will just fall asleep during Kingdom Hearts runs. Bucket, I do not remember if you're actually a fan of Kingdom Hearts speedruns or not. I feel like you are, but I don't know. Oh, okay, I see your message just now. Question answered. Never mind. Delete this video. Actually, don't delete this video. This could be a really good one. Everyone who is running SMG2 for the race is doing Sunshine. Oh, really? That's surprising. That's surprising, as a matter of fact. That's actually very surprising. I thought it was the other way around. That people who are doing SMG2 generally were not doing that. That's interesting. DDR Challenge is so fun. I didn't know you actually play rhythm games today, but that's awesome. I'm definitely a big fan of rhythm games, especially dance games, such as DDR, In the Groove, Pump It Up, you know, those sort of things. So that's pretty cool. I've actually never, I've only played a little bit of like the first Kingdom Hearts, and playing a little bit of an RPG is basically the same as not playing it. So, I definitely still need to gain some experience with Kingdom Hearts as well. There's like a huge backlog of games that I just need to play. Hopefully later on we can make that happen, but we'll see. Well, if you've already done 17 to 18, what is 6 or 7 more? I say that partially in jest, because that's still a really, really long time to play video games, even though playing video games is really fun. Cooling off after a bunch of SMG 242 PBs. Right on, man. That is awesome. I'm going to skip those lives because I don't think I need them at this point. That is awesome, though. Congratulations, Super Spyro. I guess that's true, Bucket. It kind of depends. It kind of depends. And yo, what's going on, Ramatron? It goes pretty well, man. It definitely goes pretty well. I'm feeling a little bit groggier than normal today, but I'm working on it. I'm definitely working on getting warmed up here. How's it going with you, man? Thank you for the good luck, Ultra Stars, by the way. I do appreciate it. What's going on, Footloose, as well? How are you doing? Don't have that many people during hard times. I mean, I guess that's true for everybody's time zone. Like, there's gonna be certain times during the day where it's gonna be really hard to, where, you know, you might just have a lull in viewers. Like, I see that even with like really big streamers, where sometimes during 24-hour streams, like they'll have like, you know, sometimes they'll have like 1,000 viewers, and then they'll just like drop to like 500 or 600, you know, depending on the time zone. Especially if it's a time zone that like you're not usually streaming during. Trying to recover from a hangover? Well, that's what a lazy Sunday is for, Footloose. Hopefully you'll be able to be you'll be rested and relaxed afterward. That stinks. Oh, it's alright, guys. Just have patience. Patience and keep honing your craft. I've personally not been too keen on the Assassin's Creed games, so I'll probably end up passing on those. Though they are high-profile games. Did the Insane Trilogy live up to the hype? In a word, yes. In a word, yes. Definitely not perfect, but overall, I think that the Insane Trilogy is really, really fun. It looks great. They definitely kept very true to the originals. There is a good amount of speed tech, and we're still finding new speed tech. You know, and there's still stuff that's yet to be discovered. That's really awesome. And it is definitely been a really, really fun experience. What is a viewer? I don't know. You guys are being pretty good viewers right now, I must say. Sitting down to do some work. Run the first attempt of the Insane Trilogy load remover and it failed. Oh no! Do you at least know what might be going wrong with it, Ramatron? That would be really nice. And yo, what's going on, Magatoth? How you doing today, buddy? Almost got sub 13 for the 242. So what's the world record for the 242? Is it like 9.5 hours? I don't know. I feel like it's 9.5, but I also feel like I'm really wrong about that. Well, think about it this way, Bucket. If you're a viewer right now, like, what do you like to see as a viewer? Is a question. Uh-oh. No! I've screwed that up royally. I screwed that up royally. No fast ripperoo right now, but that's okay. The box just moved. Hideva, right now you are starting to dictate to me how to run my stream, and I do not like that. So I'm gonna play what I want to play and stream when I want to stream. If you're around and you like it, that is awesome, but please keep in mind that you are being very rude right now. Got crashed 200% a while ago. Nice, Magatoth. Congratulations. Are you thinking about going for the 102, or are you gonna chill at 100% for a while? I could see myself doing Kingdom Hearts, like, I think, like, if I were to incorporate some more, like, casual stuff into the stream, I think that, like, going through a backlog of, like, games I really should have played by now would be pretty fun. So, maybe later on. Maybe later on I could actually make that happen, but we'll see. What's going on, Vomit? Just came back from the beach and you got to visit Greece. Honestly, I would love to do that. I think the Mediterranean, like, Riviera and, like, the waterfront on the Mediterranean Sea, just I can't really comprehend how beautiful it is just by looking at pictures. So I'm kind of with you there. I would definitely love to I would definitely love to go do that someday. Europe is like a place that I could probably spend months just traveling around in, and I have no idea. I have no idea how I would do everything in one trip. It's almost like I would have to do, like, multiple visits. Maybe, like, Western Europe and Eastern Europe? Maybe, like, kind of split them up into 2 different trips, perhaps. I don't know. Hey, there you go, Mikula. Got a place to stream, got the sauna. Dude, life's good. What more could you want, in all honesty? No, I understand, Hideva. You know, unfortunately, like, I want as many people to be able to watch as possible, but, you know, I can't, you have to understand that I cannot shift around my sleep schedule and the different times that I stream out of respect for, you know, out of respect for my own sleep pattern, but also, also for everybody else that's watching right now who would prefer me to stream at this time. You know, I try to please as many people as possible, but I definitely cannot please everybody. And, you know, that is unfortunate, but that is just the way it is sometimes. So hopefully you understand. It's not personal. Could use ESA as an excuse to come to Europe. That's true. That is true. I would like to go to ESA, especially now that I've been to a few GDQs. I feel like ESA would be a totally different experience compared to Games Done Quick. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Because I screwed up and I totally forgot to go back for the Brio bonus, we're just gonna move on and pretend that nothing happened. So yeah, that's what happened there. At first I was like, wait, I didn't die. How come I'm here already? And the reason why was because I forgot to actually go back and get the other Brio coupon. But that's okay. This would ordinarily be a bigger problem if I was doing a single game run, but for a full trilogy run, it's okay. I've never been to a sauna before, Mikula, so I have no idea how I would actually like it. I have no clue. Actually, I don't think so, Jordan, and there's a lot of risk with backtracking all the way back to the Brio bonus and then coming all the way back. I think I was too far ahead to where it would have been really risky to backtrack, and if I died, then I would have just straight up lost time. So I think I would have either broken even at a considerably more risk or would have actually been slower. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to not backtrack. Especially because the advantage is not really as big as it is in the original games. What's happening, Liam? How you doing today, man? Hopefully you have an awesome Sunday so far. Yes. In a word, yes, Footloose. I did find the high road very challenging. Not impossible. And we have some... I have some strats now that make that level a little bit more bearable, but the high road and road to nowhere not so much, but the high road definitely is pretty difficult. The bridge levels in particular, you can really see the difference in the physics. The chicken cordon bleu is really good. That's awesome. That is awesome, man. I'm glad that you had a good experience with your chicken cordon bleu. Okay, cool. Those things are going up and down like they normally do. The bats didn't come down, so that's awesome, and we're good. How was the new Spider-Man movie, Liam? It's okay. It stops giving you a headache at eventually, Magatoth. I promise. It's cordon bleu. It's cordon bleu, but I say like cordon bleu because reasons. At least you're cursing in polite French, God Sonic. At least it's not impolite French. That would be a problem. No, it's blue cordon. Get it right. What's up, Whitey Fox? How are you doing today? Better than the Amazing films? That's awesome. I personally have not been super into like comic book movies, but I always enjoy hearing about how they are because like a lot of people really like them. And in particular, like Spider-Man, like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man that came out was one of the ones that I watched and I remember really liking. And The Dark Knight was the other like sort of comic book superhero movie that I really did like. I think part of the reason why was because it was pretty dark. Like the Dark Knight type movies, like they don't have that kind of like the other like superhero movies feel kind of cheesy and I can't really like get into the lore as much. But something like The Dark Knight is lore I can definitely get into. Absolutely. What's up, Volky? How are you doing? No, I did like The Dark Knight, Bucket. I did like The Dark Knight. Loved it, as a matter of fact. What's going on, Zonky Puncher, as well? How are you doing? What happens in 5 days? The 1545 race happens in 5 days. So if you go ahead and type in exclamation 1545, you'll get a handy-dandy description, like Creasy has posted, about all the details and how I'm personally participating in the race. It's a relay race across a bunch of different speed games, all done back-to-back. And I'm personally doing Crash 2 and 3 for my team, and I'm super stoked about it. The OG games, not the Insane Trilogy. I'm glad you're doing well, by the way, Volky. That's awesome. Glad you are doing well. I definitely cannot complain either over here. Don't I like the blue knight more? If there was a blue knight, and blue is my favorite color, then maybe. But I'll settle for the black knight for now. Or the dark knight, excuse me. Wow, the black knight just sounds like a porn movie. Patrick, what's going on, dude? How are you doing? And yo, thanks for the good luck, Zonky. I appreciate it. Yeah, I might need to put a cooldown on the 1545 command. I totally did not realize how big of a block of text it was. The Black Knight was a movie and it sucked. What was it about? Glad you're doing awesome, Patrick, and thank you for the good luck. I appreciate it. Comedy by this guy whose name I cannot remember. That's not a good sign if you can't remember the name. Not for you personally, but for the movie. Rather, I should mention. Yo, Vulpix! Vulpix with the sub. Yo. Yo, thank you for hitting that sub button. I appreciate you. Hope you're doing awesome today.
I just wanted to say I'm gonna go and I'll be back sometime.
Okay.
Okay, love you.
Have fun. Love you too.
Bye stream, bye stream.
Bye Pez, bye Pez.
Okay. Okay.
No! I need the light. Alright, there we go. What's up, Pharaoh? How you doing? It was Martin Lawrence. Ah, okay. I have not seen a Martin Lawrence movie in a long time. Twister was also a movie that sucked. Honestly, I think Twister really blows. I think it really blows, in all honesty. Dude, I love the sub music. It's so hype. It's so groovy. You're just like jamming out. Like, that's one of the reasons why I like it so much, is because it's just, you can just groove to it. It's really easy to groove to it. That's the music that happens when Pez appears, Mikula. It's not actually sub music. It's just when Pez comes in. Oh, it's all good, Vulpix. I appreciate you stopping by regardless, and I totally understand. I totally understand the busy life. How's it going, by the way? I'm saying tornadoes don't blow. I'm saying they do. You want to talk about wind blowing? You got a lot of wind right there. You got a lot of wind right there. Oh, I mean suck. I guess it depends. I feel like tornadoes blow. Like, it's a cycle of wind. Like, there might be parts of it that suck, but it really blows. Nice, we actually made it. It's going good? That's awesome, Vulpix. I'm glad it sounds like you're doing pretty good right now. Okay. Sure. I'll take that. I'll take that. It sets me up pretty well for the next cycle, so I will definitely take that. Tornadoes suck things up and throw them away. Are you sure? Are you sure? I'm actually not sure, but are you sure? Oh, ha. I did not think I was at that part of the cycle, but that's why we have masks. So when we act like a dingus, we can get away with it. And yo, thanks, Jordan. Thanks for hooking me up with the cooldown, man. I don't know if you can make this cycle here. I really don't know if you can. I'd love to know if you can, but I don't think you're able to. I always like to go out of my way for the mask here. That was a little risky. Do do do. Do 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 do. Ba-da-ba. Oh yeah, no innuendos here whatsoever, God Sonic. I see no innuendos here. I'm just kidding. Even if there were, I would allow it. Innuendos are fine with me. In your endo, at least have good grammar, Mr. Streamer. I think that's the command, but I need to be an editor in Onkbot. I think moderators are editors by default. I think moderators are editors by default, Jordan. Maybe not though. I think you should get a reply from the bot. I know Poonage has edited commands in the bot before, but I'm gonna have to check after the stream. Send me a whisper as a reminder so I can check after the stream and see if I have to manually set editor permissions or if it's just if I can set it to just all moderators can adjust. Wouldn't give Bucket that permission? Is there a story to go along with this, Patrick? Yeah, innuendo means like a innuendo means like something that sounds something that sounds serious. Like something that sounds serious but like has joking undertones. Like it can be taken either way, basically. You're hungry and want to eat a cheese pizza? Same, honestly. Same, Hideva. You're welcome back, Migo Boy, by the way. Mr. Migo Boy, as a matter of fact. Got to pay the proper respects, of course. Is jumping faster than running? Yes, bunny hopping is a little bit faster than just running around in Crash 1. So yeah, I might look like a dingus jumping around like that, but trust me, there's some method to the madness. He's stuck in a dungeon? Wait, they're stuck in a dungeon where? What if you were stuck in a dungeon and then this guy was your boss to get out? But say you didn't know how to beat him at the time. Say you were like totally blind. Yo, Kong's muscles have never looked better. That's true. He's very proud of them too, as you can see. But it's also his downfall currently. That's fair, Bucket. In all seriousness, I would not wish you to share that. Everybody playing with Pangas. Oh, yeah. Then there's also a Dram's butthole in a Super Dram World. I don't know how they got away with that, though. I remember at AGDQ, like, when I saw, like, the level called Dram's butthole, and it was basically on the GDQ stream. I'm like, there is no way that, like, they would get away with it if it wasn't, like, an amazing ROM hack. There is no way they would get rid of that. Koala looks like me. So I got nothing on his upper body. His legs are not hard to beat, but I got nothing on his upper body. That is truly a work of art. Might just stay in the dungeon because of those legs. They are really toned though. That being said, excuse me. He doesn't look like he's skipping leg day as much as he does in the original games though. Stand out. Did I see the episode of Boundary Break the other day that covered Crash 1? I'm not familiar with Boundary Break, actually. What is it? And I guess what were the minutes from that video? And no muscles can save you from a rogue minecart. Just remember that next time you're ever in a coal mine and you encounter a rogue Koala Kong. A rogue minecart will win at the end of the day. Can't escape it. Digga-digga-doo. Digga-digga-doo. It depends, Hideva. It depends on when you stream and if I'm available. But if those two things overlap, then sure. I have no qualms with that. Wow. Okay, cool. Don't we all live together happily in happy friendland? Most of the time. Most of the time. Okay, that's fine. I don't actually, it probably would have been better to keep 2 masks there. So the first hit was intentional, the second one was not. So I kind of screwed that up a little bit there, but that's fine. The remastered soundtracks overall are very good, Footloose. I don't like every track. There are some ones that I'm kind of like, kind of medium about. But at the same time, like, I think they did a really good job of the soundtrack, and of course the visuals on top of that as well. Visuals are just, you know, out of this world. You can definitely tell they spent a lot of time on the visuals of this game. Let's not jump out of the map this time. That's in Castle Machinery. That's coming up later. Heavy Machinery, we're fine. We won't have a problem with that. In-game camera in video games moves it around to try to find different things. The liquid that Brio pours between his beakers is stored under his feet when they're not in use. Dude, that sounds like a frayed wire away from a catastrophe. Will I sing Footloose by Kenny Loggins? I don't know. How much are you paying? I'm just kidding, of course. I do like Footloose. I remember in high school we actually did Footloose as a musical, and it was really fun. But I probably would not be able to do the song very much justice. This video counts as individual runs for the games? It can. As long as I split properly, it can be, it can count as runs for the individual games. I believe that has been done before already. What? 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 I spun, okay? So here's what happened. I spun, and then when instead of spinning the guy, I ended up bouncing off of him, and I have no clue how. I have no clue how that actually happened. But that worked. That did not work, but that's okay. Am I planning on submitting the run I did the other day? I've already submitted the run I did the other day. I've already submitted it. It's on the SRCom leaderboards. We are good to go, as a matter of fact. I also submitted my Crash 1 run that I did, basically the 103. That record has gotten significantly faster since the last time I was doing attempts. So I've got some homework to do on Crash 1 any percent, because there's obviously some things that I need to learn in that category. Does Japanese English speak in a little word? Try again, Hideva. I'm not quite sure I follow. Yeah, exactly. At least there was a checkpoint right there. I think Mikkel approved it. I think Mikkel approved those 2 runs. Me on the trifecta or you on the blind run? Probably you on the blind run. This run is going to take a while. It's probably going to take another 3 hours at least. It's going to take a long time. There will probably come a day where I will sing for you guys, but the right circumstances are going to have to present themselves. The right circumstances are going to have to present themselves. I don't know what exactly those circumstances are, but something. That's all good. That's why we have multiple mods. You know, you guys are able to cover for each other. It's all good, man. Does bunny hopping make you go faster on flat ground? It does help you go faster on flat ground and on upward slopes, I believe. In Crash 1, you can spin jump. If you spin bunny hop, it actually helps you go up slopes a little bit faster. And I believe that's also true in this Crash 1. Ouch. It looks visually faster than just running up the slopes to me, so I've been doing it. And I think that's a little faster. This level is not going to show it off super well because there's a lot of gaps and jumps and stuff. But generally speaking, it is faster. Not necessarily, Hideo. I've interacted with some Japanese people that speak amazing English, and I've also and I know it's usually worse the other way around. The average English speaker's Japanese is a lot worse than the average Japanese speaker's English. So, don't worry, you're all good. Just make sure it's My Heart Will Go On. What would be like the most embarrassing song to sing? Like, if you were, say you're a streamer and you had to sing one song, like your life depended on it, what would be the most embarrassing one? I've never seen Frozen, so I'm not really sure how Let It Go goes, as a matter of fact. Baby! Honestly, the Justin Bieber parts of the song would be fine. Would be fine, but the ludicrous part would be really bad. La Bamba Triste would be, but it's a French song. It would be very embarrassing for me because I cannot speak French at all. And what's going on, Ratcher? How's it going? Yo, Never Gonna Give You Up would be so much fun to sing, though, Volky. Like, I have a great time singing Never Gonna Give You Up. I don't know if it's just because, like, I kind of have... I don't know if it's, like, just because I get in full Rick Astley mode and don't give a fuck, or if it's, like... I don't know. But there's something about that song that I actually really like singing. It's fun. Oh, jeez, I didn't think I was going to jump in time. Aqua Lollipop? I don't remember how that song went. I am familiar with Aqua, but I don't remember exactly how that song went in particular. So here, if you just keep running and jump around all the things, you'll be fine. Living La Vida Loca? It would be very embarrassing for me because I don't know any of the words. Oh, so I'd basically just be like, you know, like vaguely humming the tune. Uh-oh, how did that go, Jordan? There you go, Bucket. I like that attitude. This level has really good music, too. It kind of rocks out, you know? It just kind of rocks out here. Oh, yeah, the bouncing barrels are terrifying, Godsonic. Absolutely. What's up, Ambrosia Ivy? How are you doing? If Barbie Girl would be pretty embarrassing, but it kind of depends on, like... But if you're a real trooper, I think you could be just fine. Because that song is so ridiculous, it's actually, I think it would actually be fine. He-Man version. He-Man version anything would be really hard to pull off. Yo, 1 for 7, what's going on, man? How are you doing? How did yesterday's run go before? It's the World Recce. So, we got the World Recce for full Trilogy any percent, and we're trying to beat it this time. Which is going to be pretty cool. Dude, I have not heard that song in such a long time, Ramatron. Yo, what's going on, Purple Rupees? SGDQ looked like a ton of fun. SGDQ looked like so much fun. How was your experience overall? Yeah, I would say that Eurodance songs in general are definitely not bad. Definitely not bad in general. Yeah, that's basically how it would go for me too, Jordan. What's up, Tartson? How's it going? I don't know, like it feels good, but at the same time, it's like the any percent like full trilogy runs are still like very unoptimized. So there's like a lot of progress to go. It definitely would feel different if I had like a Crash 200% world record, which is a very highly optimized category, and there's a lot of like, there's a lot of where it's like there's a lot of like extra prestige to it because there's because that run is so good already. But it feels good to be a gangster. It feels good to be a gangster. Ouch. All right, good. Hey, Deva, have a good night. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a good one. Gotta be careful here with the high road. Talk about optimized category. Yes, OG Crash 2 Hundo is about as optimized as Crash games get. Never mind no game over abuse. That run is I think his sum of best is only like 10 to 15 seconds faster than his actual world record run, which is just amazing. Whoa. What's funny about watching new streamers in the high road? I can imagine what would make that very fun. I can imagine how that would be very fun. I'm gonna take it slow here because I don't like where those cycles were. Because I think his sum of best at the time was a 39.52, but then he like lost his splits or something. So I think that his sum of best is actually like 10 seconds better than his no-go PB. It's hard to beat that. Though it's a little bit of a tease because he's so close to the 39, and like you just want to get the 39, move on to that next threshold, and then just be like done with the category forever. You can kind of put it to bed at that point. Wow! Okay, so I landed on the turtle a little bit farther forward than I should have. And that was game over. I was like, basically that's where the turtle bouncing becomes a problem, is in situations like that where you end up like bouncing towards this side of the turtle and your bounce just doesn't go quite far enough to get you onto the next platform. And it shouldn't do that. Like if you land on the turtle, then you probably should be able to make it to the next platform, in my opinion. But that's just not how Crash 1 works in the Insane Trilogy. High Road is the new Slippery Climb? I don't know. I think I haven't really found Slippery Climb to be as technically difficult as the High Road is. It's hard for sure, but I don't know. I think they're like really hard levels to compare against each other. Oh yeah, like the rope is kind of a trap for the most part, Jordan. The rope is, you saw I barely use the rope. I like use the rope a very small amount to get a little bit of an extra boost to make it across really, really wide jumps. What's going on, Korkaw and Mola Makarna and Daniel Schmitty? How are you guys doing? The reason why you don't run across the ropes the whole way is because Crash has a pill-shaped hitbox in this game, which means that the very bottom of his hitbox is actually really narrow. So if you land on the edge of a platform, or if you're on a thin surface like that, it's very easy to fall off, especially in comparison to the original games. So you really don't want to do that. It's actually more risky to try to run across the ropes, and it takes longer to set up than it would be to just try to do the level normally. Or barely use the ropes, kind of like I did. But yeah, the bridge levels are fun. Like, they're hard, and they definitely have a very steep learning curve, but they're fun. Like, they're definitely fun once you get used to them. There's that kind of swag too, where once you finish a bridge level and you can kind of get the hang of it, it just feels really good. It just feels really good. Yep, hard drive type does matter, Korka. Some people do have solid states in their PS4, and the leaderboards subtract loads from the overall runtime to compensate, so nobody gets a super huge advantage by having a solid state over a hard drive. Does it matter if you die before a checkpoint? No. In the case of colored gems, you can die before the first checkpoint, just like in the first game, and it's not a big deal. However, once you break a checkpoint, there's no turning back. You can die as many times as you want, though, in the bonuses. The bonuses do not count as deaths, so you're actually totally fine if you do that. No! Oh, why did I just run and jump there? I thought that I was going to be fine, and I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to wait, and I thought I was going to be fine. That was just a bad judgment call. That's okay. That was just a bad judgment call. Speaking of which, got kind of lucky there, I'm not gonna lie. Oh yeah, and the bonuses a lot of people don't have a whole lot of practice with because you didn't really care about them in the original game. So I think them being forgiving on the bonuses is actually a very good thing. There we go. Just wait like 1 second. Just wait like 1 second and all of your troubles will go away. Hakuna Matata. Yo, what's going on, Wapo? How are you doing? This guy, the hardest working Cortex employee right here. The dreaded folding staircase. I know. They drop you a lot faster in the Insane Trilogy. In the original Crash 1, you actually felt kind of slow on the staircases, so you could get away with jumping early and basically you would be fine. But not the case here. Definitely not the case here. Hakuna Bandicoota? You know, that doesn't actually sound too bad. I wasn't sure how it would roll off the tongue, but it actually sounds pretty good. I like it. The Brio bonuses actually don't matter whatsoever in Crash 100%, thankfully, but the 2 Cortex bonuses, like, you really couldn't have those go wrong. Like, you needed to know how to do them and be able to execute, because dying in the bonus, although it's not as painful as dying in the real level to get the box gem, is still quite a lot of lost time in backtracking. So it is still very important to execute in the Cortex bonuses, because they are pretty big time losses if you don't do them correctly. Just chillin', watch my any% run and saw me live. Awesome, man. How did you find my any%? Was that on speedrun.com? And welcome, by the way, to the live stream. Speedrun.com? Okay, cool. I have to say, though, I definitely really love Speedrun.com. I remember when I first started getting into speedruns, and Speed Demos Archive was still the premier site at the time. Speedrun.com has, it's so much easier to navigate. It's basically like your encyclopedia for speedrunning. It's awesome. Very, very awesome indeed. Alrighty, so I think this split in my run also has us doing Castle Machinery, so we still have quite a bit of time to save. And remember, in Castle Machinery, I also got the soft lock, so there's a lot of potential time saved there as well. It's all about that Crash Spyro Ape spreadsheet. I have no idea where that is. Like, I still have never seen the Crash Spyro Ape spreadsheet. I was told it exists, but I've never seen it. Dang, sirens are real today. I don't know if you guys can hear it. You guys have been able to... Sirens sometimes come through the microphone because I have the window open right now, but yeah, that was definitely a siren back there. What's up, Cam? How you doing? I've never actually played Ape Escape. So I would have to pop my cherry first. I would have to pop my cherry first and go from there. But what's going on, man? How you doing? Okay. Well, I do apologize. I live pretty close to a main road. I have to have the window open because there is no AC in the house. As the only months of the year where it gets warm are in the summer. So air conditioning is actually not needed very much in the area where I live. So unfortunately right now I have to have the window open, and sometimes certain noises happen. Nevertheless, like, some days there are some sirens that, like, never... There are some days where I just never hear a siren all day, and then there's other times where sirens happen, like, every 30 minutes. Did I stream yesterday, and did you miss it? No, I was not streaming yesterday. I submitted my run yesterday, so that's why it says on speedrun.com that my world record was done yesterday. But I just forgot to change the date until the day before. So no, I did not stream yesterday. Saturdays I typically do not stream. Wednesdays and Saturdays are typically days off for me. Bum 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 ba da 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 da. Nailed it. What did I do this time? I don't know, man. They're just haters right now. Wish they made a new Ape Escape. I think there were some rumors about an Ape Escape 4 coming out, but I have no clue as to whether or not that's actually happening. Do I like Crisp Bay cream donuts? For that content, you'll have to go to my other website and subscribe for $29.99 a month. Speaking from games you never played or finished, any plans to continue that Abe's Odyssey playthrough? Unfortunately, when the original... Unfortunately, I don't know if I actually still have my save progress because I had to reinstall Windows 10 on a different hard drive. So I have to check and see if I still have my save progress. I still have to check to see if I have my save progress because I don't remember which hard drive I stored it on. I don't know if I'll necessarily continue it on stream, but I would like to finish the game in general. I think I'm like 2/3 of the way through Abe's Odyssey. That game's fun. Very difficult, but very fun. It's that time of the year where you really got to open a window. And probably would have to anyway because, you know, I got a big old PC here that puts off quite a bit of heat. Not as much as most PCs, but still enough to where it gets kind of hot and stuffy in here on occasion. Krispy Kreme or pineapple on pizza? Probably pineapple, honestly. I think Krispy Kreme on pizza would taste pretty gross. Yeah, Abe is definitely a fringe game on Twitch. Not very many people play Abe, but it might just take the right person to play Abe, you know? All it takes is one streamer to really put the game on the map sometimes. Yo, Teets, what's going on, buddy? Excuse me, how's it going, man? $100 boxes missed. I know. There's so many boxes that go unanswered. Or that go unbroken, I should say. In Jaws of Darkness. A lot of bonus boxes. That's one of the reasons why there's so many boxes missed in Jaws of Darkness. There's a lot of bonus boxes. Oh, geez. There we go. That's cool that the community is getting more active. That is definitely a big deal. Abe's runs in GDQs. I don't know actually how many Abe runs there's been in a GDQ, if any. That would also help. Nailed it. GDQs definitely increase a lot of exposure. Die before the ending of SGDQ. Yeah, I was asleep about halfway through the Earthbound run. But I did get to watch the SM64 run. I got to watch a little bit of FF7, although it was overnight in my time zone. There was some good stuff there. There's some runs that I definitely want to go back and watch too, because there were some runs that I just like was not able to catch. All right, there we go. Why did I choose not to get the green gem? The reason why is because I missed the second. I missed one of the Brio icons. So rather than backtrack and try to get it, I figured it wasn't gonna actually save enough time for me to be worth it. Like there was a great risk of me losing time on top of that, so I decided to just blow through it. And my current run actually in like this run right here that you're looking at actually did not get it either. So it's actually okay for that to happen. You want to make it happen, but because I had already gone past a point of no return, I just decided, okay, we'll just let it go for now. And it's not worthwhile to start the level over. It's not worthwhile to go too far out of my way to go back and get it, because it takes so much more time to get the green gem with the bonuses in the Lost City. So that's something I think you're going to see a lot more people go for backup strats in that particular level compared to... you're going to see a lot more people go to backup strats in that level compared to just restarting like you would in OG Crash 1. When you get to a certain point, you just have to get it, and if you miss it, then you got to reset your run. The cringe compilation is going to be insane. Oh, I can imagine. Oh, jeez. Thankfully, I had a mask there. I didn't actually catch any of the cringe moments of games done quick. I think I only heard of one. I only heard of one that really happened. But I'm not entirely sure. For the leg shakes? Yo, Kiwi was just nervous. Kiwi was just nervous. That sucks, by the way. It's very easy to jump early in this boss battle. But it's really weird because, like, he moves so slow, and it looks like you can jump, and there's no problem. But, you know, but your jump just doesn't go quite far enough, and you end up, like, getting into his, like, arm hitbox or something. Like, his arm, like, there's, like, some overlap with his arm hitbox. It's very weird. Yeah, you mean insane. Exactly. There we go. What's up, Bronx Kid? How you doing? A Link to the Past was one of the funniest runs I watched. I didn't actually... Was that at this previous marathon? Because I don't think I caught that run. I don't think I caught that run. But A Link to the Past is pretty cool. Especially with all the randomizer action that's been happening lately. Blobs are indeed way harder than OG. Actually, I think these blobs are easier to deal with. They're a little slower to do optimally, but I think that it's actually harder to do it in Crash 1, like OG. Will record pace or not? Probably not for the individual Crash 1 run. Especially because I did not first try Embryo. But we'll see what happens in Cortex. There's a lot of time to make up in Cortex. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of runs that I want to go catch up on, Bronx Kid. Everybody stands up and shakes their legs. Oh, I must be totally out of the loop on that one. If you can send me a video, if you can whisper me a link to a video on that, Purple Rupees, I would be very appreciative. I'll go check it out later. I heard that Super Panga World was really good. Super Spyro. I have to go back and watch that because I only got to catch a little bit of it. She's freaking killed the SM64 120 star run too. Like, that's a really good time for a marathon, especially with all the things that can go wrong. And Deckers, thank you for the host, man. I do appreciate it, by the way. Yeah, Super Panga World is a ROM hack for Super Mario World that Pangea Panga made in 2015, I think. I think this was... I don't know if that was before or after Super Dram World, but Dodecahedron does a lot of SMW and like SMB3, like ROM hack type stuff, and he's quite good at it. Need to catch my run on Crash 3? Yo, that would be sick. Ah! I gotta stop dying in the lab first, though. Panga didn't make it, it was Link dead? Oh, I thought it was, I thought Panga made that one. I know Panga made Dram World. My mistake, then. There we go. Did I hear how the parents of the SM64 speedrunner, their message was being read? Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, Punkation's mom and dad donated $100, and then they were basically like, get off the couch and onto the chair to get that world record. They just, like, straight up called him out. It was funny, though. Like, it was very obviously just, like, a tongue-in-cheek type thing. And not super serious, but that was pretty cool. That was definitely pretty cool. Alright, hardest level in the game right here. Do 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 do. They got up and said thank you, and my PC blue screen. Your PC doesn't like manners, Jordan. Your PC does not like manners, apparently. Dedicated to an article for Panga's blind SMW 11 exit. What was in that article then? First try Great Hall. Oh yeah. Nailed it. Oh yeah, I think chat was like lagging. Like sometimes you can see like that chat just goes even too fast for itself sometimes. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't blame him, Bulky. I'd be pretty mad if my island was suddenly on fire. Clearly it's lit because I got a first try Great Hall. Clearly that's why it's lit. What's going on, Joker, by the way? How you doing? That's actually a really solid PB. Like that's a really, really solid PB. I did not realize how good that run was, actually. So that's like a 113 something, and that's like, that beats my Crash 1 PB by like over 3 minutes. That's awesome. I don't know what it's going to be like without loads, but I think it's going to be very close to sub 1 hour without loads, and that's awesome. I'm definitely very happy about that. I don't think it's world record for Crash 1. Crash 1 world record currently is a 56 without loads, so I'm actually going to need to get to like a 110. Like, I'm going to need to get to like a 110 with loads, but that's still a big improvement. That's top 3 submitted on its own? Well, I'll definitely submit it on its own afterwards. And what's up, Kyra? How are you doing today? Good to see you. Every Mario game in 602 actually has a hardest star other than SM64. Is that because SM64 has a lot of stars that are similar in difficulty? Do 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 do. Bum bum ba da da dum bum. Do 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 do. All right, we're actually gonna start Crash 2 properly this time. Second is 1:13:15, and third is a 1:13:33. I don't know what time that was, but I'll take a look after. I'll take a look after the stream and see exactly what it was. It's actually probably fourth by like a few seconds. So I think we can just quit this intro level and just get right into the game. So this will actually help save us a little bit of time on Ripperoo. It's all good, Kyra. You've got Crash 2 and 3 to watch now. It is possible. Like, it's possible to get the world record in any of the individual Crash any percent categories. Really, the only time that's added for the full trilogy is switching games. Otherwise, it's basically the same run. Yes, you can. I was watching another streamer play this game, and I saw them quit out of the intro, and I was like, oh. I was wondering if that worked, but I never tested it, and it turns out it does work. Okay, so you can't go diagonal anymore. That's fine. Yo, thanks, Laurenius. I appreciate it, man. A 1:13:36. Okay, so I missed top 3 by like 3 seconds, but that's okay. There's definitely a lot of improvement. Definitely still a lot of improvement to come. If I by accident break one of the records, oh yeah, it still counts, as long as it meets the timing rules for the individual any percent categories, which it does. Then we're good. All it's got to do is basically each individual run would have to be timed exactly like a single game run would, and in this case it is. So yeah, all that matters is just being able to time it the same way. Oops. Awesome. That's some free time save right there. The exiting the intro level, definitely some free time save there. Yo, what's going on, Poonage? The Tanned and Burnt Man, as long as it's fun. As long as it's fun, that's what matters. What's up, Dark Reapers? How you doing? It's possible that there was a little bit of lag with the remote play, but it's usually very minimal. The stream itself looks stable. I haven't dropped any frames, so I think it was just the remote play. I think it was just a remote play thing. But regardless, how's it going, man? And what's up, Clone? How are you doing as well? Dude, it goes pretty well. It goes pretty well, honestly. I have a few complaints today. Speedrun to beat all 3 games? Exactly. Exactly. All 3 games back to back to back. Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna know. I think that Activision is probably a bit tied up with the Destiny 2 launch, because I think that's their big launch coming up. I think that maybe by year's end we could have an announcement on like future Crash remasters, or potentially, you know, some like Spyro content. I think that would be like a pretty reasonable thing to expect, but I'm not going to expect anything because I really don't know what's on Activision's mind just in general. Probably should have waited a little bit longer, but that's okay. We got time to master those jumps. We got time. What's going on, Z Colo? How are you doing? I mean, Call of Duty is Call of Duty. I don't want to go down that road, but I definitely don't blame money for being on Activision's mind because they are a business. They are a business after all, and they are in business to make money. That being said, though, you gotta take care of your customers too. Take care of your customers, and you'll still make money. And I think they will. I think they have been. Like, I think that they did a really awesome job with the Insane Trilogy. Like, I think they priced it well. They knew how to make a splash. Like, they knew how to market the game to make it to increase the hype. And yeah, honestly, I think Activision did all right with the Insane Trilogy release. I know Vicarious Visions made the game, but they're the ones that are going to push Vicarious Visions to do silly stuff, you know. So I don't actually know if this is that fast. I don't think it is. That's alright, though. I don't actually know in general how internet is in France, Ultra Stars, but I think overall in Europe it's actually better, better on average than the average like American internet. Our internet is pretty good, thankfully, but it's not true everywhere. Huh? What? That was something. That was something, wasn't it? Apparently, the animation did not trigger, because I started pressing X to get the jet ski going and give it some boost, and it just didn't matter. It just didn't matter. All of a sudden, I just jumped off the thingy. I don't know what happened there. Probably not gonna happen, Korkaw. I think that would be too much. I know, Z-Colo. Apparently, I'm just not allowed to have a boat. Do I think there will be a second wave of NST buyers at Christmas? I don't know. It depends on if they bundle it with a PS4 or what else you get with the Insane Trilogy, or if they drop the price to where it's like, you know, 30 or 25 bucks or something. I think they would have to do something like that really to make it worthwhile. I think a remake is most likely, though, Laurnius. I think following in the footsteps of the original trilogy, doing a CTR remake would have a greater chance for success than a brand new Crash racing game at this point. Because right now they want to establish the fact that like Crash is back, and they can't establish that Crash is back by doing new games straight off the bat. They got to do some remasters first, I think, to basically to get us invested in the series again, which totally makes sense. From a business perspective, I think that we'll probably see another remaster or two before we see a new Crash game. You just fell off and I was alive? I've gotten that before too, Ultra Stars. That glitch, if you are too close to the wall, your hitbox, and your pill-shaped hitbox allows you to fall behind the wall and it doesn't trigger the death plane. That is a very, very strange glitch, and I think it is something that should be patched. But it does happen, and my fix for that is to stay closer to the camera than the wall. So like, if you stay closer to the camera while breaking that box bridge, you'll be fine. Oh yeah, especially if it had online multiplayer, Bronx Kid. Yo, Jamera Queen, how's it going, by the way? Good to see you as well. But yeah, Crash Team Racing and or Crash Bash with online multiplayer, sign me up. Sign me up. That would sell the games by themselves. Yo, what's up, Frenchie? I did remember the crystal this time, unlike my unlike my first experience with Snowgo. I think it was on day one. I think it was like day one of the Insane Trilogy when I just like blew past the crystal. Yeah, the CTR remake needs good movement tech, and there is a bit of caution because Vicarious Visions made Nitro Kart, and there's a fear that if CTR feels like Nitro Kart, it's not going to be as good. But there's no guarantee that it'll feel like Nitro Kart, and I think that Vicarious Visions, like, is aware of what makes the Crash games successful, and you know, and what they can learn from the Naughty Dog games, and also, you know, what players want. Like, they know that they probably shouldn't do Nitro Kart again. So I think that they're wise to. I think they're wise to all that. Yo, what's up, Kiwi Turtle? How you doing? The hints do kind of tell you the secrets, but at the same time, they don't tell you everything, which is really nice. Oh yeah, this is my second ever Insane Trilogy, full Trilogy any % run. Currently I do have the record for all 3 games any %, and I'm trying to beat it right now. I actually just beat my PB by a good margin in Crash 1, which is really cool. And I'm definitely happy about that. So hopefully we can set some solid times in Crash 2 and 3 and really make a dent in this category. So hyped for August when you can play this? Dude, I'm hyped for you, Clone at Work. And August is not that far away. It's just next month, as a matter of fact. I would honestly check your internet and your own setup, Dark Reapers, because according to OBS, it does not look like I've dropped any frames. What was so bad about Nitro Kart? It wasn't bad. It just wasn't as good as CTR, like mechanically speaking. That's a lot of the complaints that I hear about CTR, or CNK, excuse me. Anyone done completionist trilogy runs? What do you mean by completionist trilogy? That's true. People can Google them nowadays. Secrets do not stay as safe in the internet age. That's for sure. In the information age, it's just so easy to figure stuff out like that. Definitely looking good, Whitey Fox. Absolutely. Warp 5 is really where this run is going to start to get interesting, though. Max percentage in all 3 games, that would take forever, especially if you consider Platinum Trophy to be max completion percentage. Your favorite is tag team racing. That's interesting. It's definitely not a super popular Crash racing game. Definitely not the most popular of the Crash racing games, but that's pretty cool, though. I'm glad that you enjoy it a lot. All right, not bad. Not bad. Saving a little bit of time here. It's all right, Dark Reapers. We've all been there. I feel like that's video gaming in general, though, Jamera Queen. There's always something that's gonna be challenging. There's always something that's gonna be challenging in video games. No, Ripperoo is not as crazy as he is in the OG, and part of the reason why I think, one of the reasons why I like this one better is because you can hit him immediately after he sets off the nitros, so you don't have to wait for that weird like grace period. And the nitros all basically blow up at the same time, so you can get to him faster. But yeah, he's not quite as loud in this game, that's true. In the original game, you cannot miss Ripperoo's laughter. You know, that is definitely probably one of the loudest things in the game in general. It's okay though. That's like one of the appeals of the original games, though. You get the full-on crazy Ripperoo. He's been sedated slightly, but he's still Ripperoo. He definitely still is a crazy guy. I do too, though, Ura. He's a very charming villain. Like, he's a very charming villain. It's kind of weird. You wouldn't really think like a crazy like villain character would be that way, but he just kind of is. I don't know. There's some kind of magic that Ripperoo has. It makes him like a very likable villain. Maybe it's because he just doesn't have an ego. Like, he doesn't have an ego. He doesn't have like pretensions. He doesn't really think he's all that. He's just, all right, I'm here. I'm here. See if you can beat me. Like, it's just very, very simple. You kind of know what to expect from Ripperoo. I think that I think it was time to cycle him out, Joker. I think, like, Cortex is the one true boss, you know, that has to be in every game, but otherwise, they can do whatever they want with, you know, they can definitely cycle in some new characters with Crash 3. I'm glad that they did that with Dingodile and Entropy. Tiny and Engine have only been in one game beforehand, so I think it was time for Ripperoo to sit out a game. What's up, Electric Tunes, and what's going on, Deckers? How you guys doing? Exactly, he's just doing his thing. Is he as charming as Dingodile? I don't know. Dingodile is kind of creepy. I don't know. I get the kind of heebie-jeebies. If Dingodile was trying to chat me up at a bar, I probably would not go home with him. Koala didn't show up after 1. I think that they were overall just not as big of fans of Koala Kong for whatever reason. I've always liked Koala Kong, and I'm glad that he came back for Crash Bash. But he might have just gotten kind of forgotten about. I would totally go to bed with Koala Kong, dude. Koala Kong, if he would, I think like him and Tiny both have the skipped leg day problem. Their upper bodies are amazing, but their lower bodies could use some work. Has Pinstripe ever reappeared? He has. In CTR, he was one of the main bosses. He was one of the main bosses in that game, as well as Papu Papu. And in one of the later PS2 era games, he also showed up as well. I think it was Mind Over Mutant. Yeah, probably. I think Koala and Tiny would be very aggressive. Not by virtue of not trying, but they're just too strong. They're just too strong. Oh, but I can, Magatoth. But I can. He was, and played a very good role in CTR, honestly. I like Pinstripe in CTR. I like how they gave him that like New York like mob accent. It's very fitting for his character. You know, I really like that they did that. It's a nice detail. So you left for 1 minute, and then what happened? Koala shows up on Twin Sandy, but it's just on cinematics. I don't think I actually got that far. I think Tiny was in Mind Over Mutant, but I'm not entirely sure. It's been a little while since I played CTR as well. The last time I did runs of CTR was a long time ago. Actually, I don't need those boxes. Let's forget about it. Bum 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 ba dum ba ba bum 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 ba da da dum. He wasn't in Mutant? Okay, fair enough. For some reason I thought he was. But I could definitely be mistaken. Tend to do that from time to time. Not too keen to the new bear level music. It's better than the first draft that they had. I remember I heard the first draft of the bear music and I was not very impressed. I did not like that one, but the new music is totally fine. I have no problems with it. So tired due to watching SGDQ and then sleeping 2 hours. That definitely does not sound like quite enough sleep, but that's kind of how it works though with SGDQ. I'm not gonna lie, I was very tempted to stay up and watch. I was very tempted to stay up and watch the FF7 any% no slots run that just so happened to be running overnight in my time zone. So I did watch a little bit of it, but unfortunately did not get to see most of it because I was getting some shut-eye. Clearly it's SGDQ's fault for being so entertaining. You can't help it but stay up all night and watch SGDQ. Can anyone explain why Polar appears evil on Crash Twinsanity? I cannot. I cannot, Laurenius. I'm gonna defer that to a subject matter expert. That is not me. The only sleep you got was during SM64 120 star. That was the one run that I actually got to watch all of, and that was really fun. That was really fun, and he did a great job. Like, that time is really, really good for a marathon. Whoops. There we go. But yeah, Cheese definitely is the king of SM64 for sure. Punkay and Simply are also really, really good. Like, I don't want to sell them short. Okay, so that jump doesn't work. That jump straight up doesn't work. I remember Punkay got the world record for SM64, and then I was like, holy crap, like, Cheese was actually dethroned. And then Cheese beat him literally the day after. Like, Punkay got a 139, and then Cheese was like, yo, sup, I now have a mid 139. And Punkay was like, Punkay on Twitter was just like, after all this time, I hold the world record for like 10 hours, and then Cheese beats me again. I heard that Stivity Bobo's banjo run was actually really good too. I think he got a 204, and his PB is like a 203, which is pretty awesome. So that is also very good. I don't think Sig is going to make a comeback, Deckers. Did I lose a minute? I don't think I lost a minute. I do not believe I lost a minute. Indeed, Mikula. And what's up, Just Gilme? How are you doing? All right, this level is going to be interesting as it is a snow level. If Sig actually did make a comeback, like, I don't think the world would be ready. The problem is there's already like so many inside jokes about it that like I just don't even know how the world would react if Sig Limit comes back. Oh, oops. Yeah, 114. Oh, that's the 114 was because I didn't have a split there. I accidentally forgot to split in my previous run. So minus 1610 is the thing you can best compare it to. Oh, the thing you can best compare it to is. Oh, oops. Is the split 2 splits before it. So yeah, don't compare the 114 to the 16 because that doesn't actually mean anything. Hedgehogs are a little bit harder to get around right here, and wow. Okay, so I didn't let him get up all the way. And those icicles wreck you. So do these things, as a matter of fact. They're ready. No, that's actually the start of Crash 2, Volky. My Crash 1 run actually ended with a 113.36. Oh, it's all good, Mikula. We all started from nothing, man. Don't even worry about it. That's just part of the process. Yo, what's going on, Biggie Cheese? It does kind of look like Christmas in July in this level. Absolutely. And what's going on, man? How you doing? Would be the biggest PogChamp. It really would, though. I think it would be kind of interesting. But no, it's not 16 seconds. It's actually 16 minutes. That's good, Mikula. That's good that your thumb isn't hurting you. I think the only game that really hurts my thumb a lot, I would say, is OG Crash 1 with the constant zigzagging. That's like the one, that's definitely the one category where I actually do have a problem where like my hands hurt. Otherwise, it's not a problem. Usually my limitation when doing speedruns is, my brain. Like I just get too tired, you know, mentally. Yo, thanks Cosmic Kitten, I appreciate it. How was dinner, by the way? Alright, so now Komodo Mo is going to be throwing swords forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Because that's just what he does. Yeah, he throws swords for a very long time. Oh, hello. There you go. Alright, so that was actually pretty solid. Gonna save a good amount of time here on this split. Crash 2 is zigzagging, like, you get used to it. That's the thing, like, you can build up calluses for your thumb. Your muscles can get used to the motion, but you gotta be careful, too, because you're fast twitching a lot, you gotta be careful not to, like, you gotta be careful just with, like, carpal tunnel and, you know, making sure all your tendons are okay. So, like, I think that you could very easily do, like, you could very easily overdo it if you just zigzag too much or too hard. Just gotta be careful. I think we do plant food? Yeah, we do plant food. Yo, what's going on, Joshua girl? Thank you for the good luck, by the way. How's it going? And yo, thank you, Divine Rain. I love interacting with chat. Like, that's my favorite part of streaming. And I've definitely gotten a lot more comfortable over, I guess, my streaming tenure with talking to chat and playing video games. And honestly, like, it's something that I've always prioritized, like, very highly. Like, I just love talking to you guys and, like, hanging out and doing all this, like, off-topic banter and all that jazz. Okay, so that doesn't work. It's super fun. It is definitely super fun. And I do appreciate it. It's definitely more challenging at certain times than others, but worthwhile. That was a dumb thing to do. I think overall, like, I was just trying to regular jump, I think, is a mistake in Crash 2, and that's something that, like, you have to be very mindful of. Like, you kind of... Okay, so that was kind of BS, honestly. That was kind of BS. So basically, like, if you slide, like, too close to the edge of that particular platform, then you're probably just gonna die. So I'm gonna take it a little bit easier here because I don't want to die again. Well, I just died again, and yeah, I gotta be careful now. The hippos aren't paid enough to cooperate? Oh, that's the real reason why they don't actually do what I want. Okay, now I game overed. Yeah, that was a series of unfortunate events. What can I say? I was trying to be careful, Biggie Cheese, but then I got clipped with the water. I tried to be careful with the jump, and then, like, those cycles of the guys going back and forth were just really bad. I don't know. It just didn't work out. And yo, what's going on, Burkle? How you doing? As pro as I know, Overlord. No, actually, this world record has several game overs, Volky. So, don't worry. Don't worry, this world record is very rough and has a lot of room for improvement. Oh, that rock you just get stuck on. Oh, come on. Who's the world record for the Insane Trilogy? Well, I do for the full Trilogy any percent category. I don't have any individual game records, but the full Trilogy records I do have. I'll be honest, my Crash 2 is probably going to be a little bit rougher too, because yesterday I was practicing the original Crash 2 100% for the 1545, and got some muscle memory that I'm trying to fight currently. That's okay. Glad you're doing well, by the way, Burkle. I definitely can't complain, honestly. I definitely cannot complain, man. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad we have that in common. How much have I been trying to neutral slide spin already? Actually, none. Neutral slide spin has not been a problem. It's the subtleties of, like, the jump mechanics, I think. Like, the subtleties of jumping and the waterboard physics there. The whirlpools are, like, much more challenging to drive around. And those guys, when they the bombs, when they translate back and forth, is actually really is actually a what was I gonna say? So it's actually like a little bit harder to predict like where you're supposed to go or how you're supposed to do it, especially with those portals basically right there. So it's pretty difficult. Yo, nice. I'm glad your test went well, by the way. Damn it, Diamond. Do I avoid taking the yellow gem to save time? Indeed. Indeed, it saves a little, it saves a couple of seconds of being rewarded the gem. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about education on some of the etiquette rule, the unspoken like etiquette on Twitch, because it is like very easy to, you know, to have never encountered that situation before. Well, at least we got the checkpoint. All right, so that jump is one you got to respect a little bit more. Oh no, it's a good question to ask Magatoth. No! Why? That always happens. That always happens. That is gross. Okay, I just walked off the side. I got to be careful. I really got to be careful now. Yo, what's up, Apocalypse? How are you doing? Stuff like this, too, is definitely muscle memory. Definitely, like, muscle memory difficulty. Because, like the timing to actually spin those rats, for example, and not bounce off of one is very different. Very different and insane compared to the OG trilogy. So where I body slammed there was because I thought I was going to spin off the rat and then I would just go right into slide spinning, but didn't realize that I actually bounced off the top of the rat, and that was a problem. So it definitely can happen. I wouldn't say that exactly, damn it, Diamond. I think that some of the physics are very different. Like I would say that some of the physics in general are very different, and it is it is challenging to get used to, and there are some things that are a little bit more difficult to deal with. But at the same time, the game itself has a lot of unique tech, and it's also something that like a lot of runners are getting used to. Like a lot of people who are playing the games are still getting used to them. Like it definitely takes a long time to adjust. There are some things I don't like about it. Definitely don't get me twisted on that. But overall, it's still a positive experience. Nice. There we go. Oops. I'm just gonna wait for this guy. New Super Mario Brothers Wii copy? Nice. What do you plan on doing with that New Super Mario Brothers Wii copy? As a matter of fact. But yeah, having invincibility here does make this go a lot faster. I don't think there's currently a way to... skip through this. So, right now you're going to see me going very safe with... Well, and then that happens. I was going to say, right now you're going to see me going pretty safe with destroying that entire fence because I want to save the time by skipping the flamethrower guys. But I'm going to have to wait for one. What's up, Numero Uso? How are you doing? What do I say about the fact that the remake is harder than the old ones? Well, it takes a lot to get used to. There's a lot of muscle memory that you need to override, especially if you are used to the original games. There is definitely a lot to get used to. Very different tech, very different feeling to the games entirely. Once you get used to it, it is actually really fun. And there are some aspects of the game that are harder, but there are some things that are easier too. So it's not entirely, you know, I don't think it's true that the game is just straight up harder. Oh, wow. If I hadn't have touched that guy, I actually would have exited with 2 masks, which would be pretty sweet, actually. Super Mario Series NE%? That sounds fun. That's a multi-game category that sounds really fun to me. But there are some things that are harder, some things that are easier. I don't know exactly after you balance everything out whether the new trilogy is harder than the old one. But I would say it's harder for now, especially because it's new. The fact that it's new definitely adds a lot of difficulty to it. I kind of want to... Actually, Bear Down is a little bit easy for me to die in. I don't know if I should game over on purpose. I probably should game over on purpose to give myself 4 lives because I could definitely see myself dying accidentally in either of these 2 levels. Well, there are ways to skip those fences, Mikula. There are ways to skip those fences. So yeah, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to game over on purpose to make sure that I can just restart the level with 4 lives. Basically as a safety precaution. But yeah, skipping the fans, I think you can get rid of just 1 blade and then you're able to jump right through. I don't know if you can get away with just 3 blades. I don't think you're actually allowed to go through with all 3 blades. Classics are going to be a pain though. Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. This isn't a game over abuse run. Hey, there isn't a there's no rules against abusing game overs. There's no rules against it. If it ain't in the book, it's legal. I know you're just giving me a hard time though, of course. You might already be doing the strat, Mikula, as a matter of fact. Crash 3 is probably the easiest to get through Magatop, but 105 is no joke. 105 is definitely still no joke. Also, one good thing to note, I spun back there at that speed pad. And it canceled my speed boost. Just something good to note. Right there, I did not get a slide that I thought I would, and basically just fell because of that. There was nothing too crazy that happened there, except I thought I was gonna slide jump, and then that didn't happen. That's what was supposed to happen. Or just the easiest even on the OG. I would say so. I would say that it's the most beginner friendly, especially with the variety of the levels. It's pretty generous with extra lives and all that too. But yeah, 105 is a whole new animal. Do I use Turbo Tornado? I don't know exactly where I can use it best, Ramatron. I'm gonna have to watch like Diamond Dare's run to see how he makes use of it. But I am aware that it's a thing, and I've tried it a couple of times in this previous run here. Like in this full trilogy run, but I don't know exactly how to utilize it best at this point. That's still something that's kind of a mystery. BLJs with a Wii U Pro controller? Ooh. That sounds bad. Is it easier to do BLJs on N64 or on a virtual console? Just generally speaking. I would try waiting, Mikula. Like, restart your browser or just wait an hour and try again. Because Twitch was not displaying pages for me correctly in Google Chrome for some reason. And it did that for like 20 minutes. But then a little while later, I tried again and it was fixed. So I don't know what happened. Do I have a level order for Crash 2? I have a suggested level order. I'm kind of messing around with the level order right now and trying to figure out like what appears like visually faster, or like I haven't really so I'm not really sure like what the most optimal mask routing is. Do it on an emulator. BLJ suck regardless of context. Fair enough. I did, as a matter of fact, Mystery TV. At least part of your name. But yeah, Twitch sometimes has glitches. Like any website, it's not all going to work 100% of the time. I just need something better than doing the levels in order. Yeah, I have like a little notepad. I have like a little notepad text file I could send your way. Remind me, yeah, like send me a whisper and remind me to send you my level order that I'm working with right now. I might go through and update it though beforehand, see if there's been any breakthroughs. That's really annoying. That's really annoying right there. Yo, what's going on, Crash McCloud? How are you doing? 60% of the time it works all the time. There you go. And then the stream buffers for a sec. Sometimes that happens too. Sometimes that happens too, unfortunately. Glad you're doing all right, by the way, though, Crash. That is good to hear. All right, at least we're getting through this now. All right, I'm gonna open the door because it's getting a little bit hot in here. Get a little bit extra circulation going on. Yeah, interesting that you guys are seeing buffering. It looks fine on my end. I wonder if it's maybe a Twitch side issue. Wondering if it's maybe a Twitch side issue. Oh, that's right, tiny. You don't go up in the portal, you go into a different portal. Need to find a way to stream PS2 because running Crash 3 on a PS3 is awful. I agree with you. The emulation for backwards compatibility on the PS3 is not very good. Load times take forever too. Stream isn't buffering? Well, at least it's not at least it doesn't seem like it's coming from my end if people's mileages are varying. But I do hope it gets cleared up soon regardless. And what's up, Evolves, by the way? How you doing? Yeah, your time will go down dramatically. Switching from PS3 to PS2 with FDS. I don't know how the tiny boss fight gets manipulated, if at all, in the Insane Trilogy. That's something I'm not too sure of. Is there any schedule? Yes, there is a schedule. I don't have the link handy right now. At least that RNG was good. But my runs are currently starting at 2 p.m. Pacific US time. So 2 p.m. Pacific U.S. time is when my runs start for the 1545, and then for the next, you know, for the rest of the weekend, there's going to be runs on the 1545 race. I totally missed that split, but that's okay. I was so deep in thought that I forgot to think about the other thing I was supposed to think about. Okay, cool. That always makes me feel a little bit better, because sometimes I don't catch everything that can go wrong in the stream sometimes. I kind of want to do Behaven first, but at the same time I don't. So let's do Cold Heart Crash first. I think we'll do Cold Heart Crash, and then if we get 2 masks at a certain point, then I would really like to go into Behaven. But yeah, there is a schedule. I just don't have it handy right now, Nikki. Maybe Magatop. Maybe it was a sign. Oh, huh. That doesn't work. All right, sounds good, Mikula. Thanks for hanging out today, man. I do appreciate it. The lack of cats in my stream is very disturbing. Oh crap! I just died. I died before the death route, so I got to restart. I might just want to bring different masks in here. Honestly, I don't think I should do this level right now. I think I should do Ruination first. What's going on, Matolo Mule, by the way? How is it going, man? That's true, but I do appreciate it regardless. I'm going to do Ruination first. As a matter of fact, I think I just want to bring in extra masks to as many levels as possible. The hitboxes are different. Crash's hitbox is kind of pill-shaped, Crash McCloud, so definitely keep that in mind when you're jumping around on various platforms or trying to get fancy with some of the physics. There we go. There we go. Easy peasy. What's up, Bananers? How's it going? Good to see you as well. And yo, Low Flying Goat, thanks for the Low Flying Host, buddy. I appreciate it. How is your continued bully playthrough coming along? Have you finished it? Dude, you're never too old for plushies, man. You're never too old for plushies. Aw, man. That's okay. Just got 100%? Nice. Congratulations, man. That was not very good. I should have done a glitch high jump. 11-hour grind. I would imagine after that many hours, especially over multiple days, that you will, you'll be quite far into the game. Good just working? Hopefully not too hard, of course. Hopefully not working too hard, of course. I'm going to take it easy here because I'm feeling a little bit spooked. I did the inputs to do a glitch high jump and did not get it. At least that's what I think. So yeah, I was careful until I thought I couldn't be, and then I got punished because, yeah, because reasons. Because reasons. And I don't think they were very good ones. Yo, what's up, Slavonis? And thank you. I do appreciate it. How's it going with you, by the way? We're working on being less of a slowpoke at this point. Dude, that's how it goes, Overlord. That's just how it goes. That's how you nail it, so to speak. That's how you nail it. Every time you say you're going to be careful, the opposite happens. That's just how it works. Okay, so why don't I go into Behaven now, because that's a level that I'm actually pretty nervous about. So going to Behaven, if we exit with no mass, I might do Digging It next, and then we'll go from there. You can spin the log away. You can. I did not know that at first either when I first started playing Crash 2 when I was a kid. It took me a long time to figure out that you could spin it. I think I just tried it one day and discovered it by accident. So that was basically how I figured it out, and I did not figure it out until a long time either. Yeah, it does make the green gem route much better. That does make the green gem route much better. I definitely appreciate how much easier this level is in the OG trilogy compared to the Insane trilogy. Aw, man. This is why you have a mask. I was like in the pit basically there. I'm not gonna complain. No! What? Wow. Wow. What the heck happened there? Like, I guess what happened there was I was supposed to slide jump. I don't know if the game dropped an input or what happened there, but I did not actually get a slide jump. And then and when I was preparing to land, I think I was like preparing to land and pressed R1 and then just ended up body slamming. That is so weird. That is definitely very weird. Uka Uka sometimes has shadows when you get the game over and sometimes he doesn't. I wonder if that's because the lighting in whatever level you're in will sometimes carry over into the game over screen. I wonder. It could do that. Yeah, I was definitely in the pit now. If it wasn't before, I definitely am now. But it's probably a bug. It's probably just kind of translating whatever lighting was in the previous level into the level that you're currently on. Which I don't think should happen. Is that 17 minutes or seconds? Minutes. The colon means minutes, decimal point indicates seconds. Okay, this is impossible. That is actually just impossible. So here's what we're gonna do. Yeah, you just can't slide in time. I don't know how you're supposed to do that. I think I've just gotten lucky and gotten a pity mask here. There we go. That's how you do it. You just ignore the speed pads. I don't know if it's something that just I can't do or if it's something like you just really can't do, period. But I have so much trouble with that particular part of the level. The bees are really terrifying in this level. They go very fast. Like they go super fast. Yeah, I don't know if how much variance there really is with the pity masks. I don't really know exactly what causes them to appear, except when you die like a certain number of times in a particular level. I have not seen it where I've gotten a pity mask in a level where it feels undeserved, you know? I know it sounds like I'm just making excuses back there, and that sometimes like it can seem like you know, sometimes it can just seem like pointless complaining. But and I try not to do that as much as possible. But at that point, I really thought that I had pressed slide and I didn't get it, you know. Yeah, but normally, like in the original game, it's fine. Like you can touch that speed pad and it's not a big deal, which is which is like very weird. Which is very weird to me. Like there, for example, like I had no idea I was gonna get hit, and then you just get a body slam. You know, that's just a property of Crash. You know, sometimes that does happen. The game gives you them earlier. It might, Magatoth. I don't know. Maybe we're just not used to getting them as often in the original games because we're better at them. I don't actually know. I'm gonna wait here. That was a smart move. That was a smart move. But you might end up getting more of them because, you know, we're just a lot worse at the Insane Trilogy than the original games. Who knows? That's true. The B levels, you can life farm in them. Yeah, overall, like, I try to mention the person's name that I am replying to, but sometimes I don't. Don't mean to be confusing, but I'll definitely, try to make a note to say who I'm replying to, Sonic. There we go. Pity masks make you even more mad in the high road because you don't do anything. Your primary villain in the high road is falling down, and masks don't help you with falling down. Like, they might help you with a hog or two, but they don't help you like where it counts, you know? They just don't help you where it counts. Like, they need to basically pick you up when you fall and give you a freebie. And they just don't. That's one thing that Aku cannot protect you from, is falling down. So I've got an extra mask here, and I'm probably going to go into Cold Hard Crash now, because I feel like I'm going to need an extra mask in there. Yeah, secret exit is slower. If you actually take the secret exit there, you end up going into the basement warp room, which is warp room 0, and you have to then go up several floors to get back to the to the correct warp room that you're supposed to be in. Yeah, of course. Of course. There's a fine art to that, you know. There's a fine art to criticism, but like without like, you know, there's a fine art to criticism, but that's like between the person who's receiving the criticism and the person who's giving it, to, you know, have it be constructive, and also like to not get emotions into play, because once people start getting upset, all bets are off. That person's just not going to listen. Definitely a good challenge in communication is to be able to, wow, is to be able to, you know, criticize, politely, you know, which I think you are. I think you are. It's just something I wanted to point out, because I think that's something that doesn't really get talked about very often, is, you know, ways to express criticism without, you know, without going overboard or without having it taken the wrong way. Yeah, you just need a vehicle. According to Whitey Fox, you need to be in Crash 3 and in a vehicle, and then you'll be good. Oh, there's another siren. Somebody done goofed. Somebody done goofed. Alright, we made it. Made it to the death route. Yo, what's going on, Chris JD? How you doing, man? Thank you for the good luck as well. I appreciate it. Oops, I bonked off the top of the exclamation box. So I got an extra gem that I don't need, but that's fine. I'm not sure, Belle. Hopefully, hopefully you can get some sleep very soon. In the meantime, hopefully we can help. I'm sure chat can sing you a really nice lullaby to help you go to sleep, right, guys? Right, exactly. Exactly. Criticism cannot be personal. If criticism is personal, that person is just not going to listen. Indeed, indeed. Not getting third mask here. I think I just got impatient, Ramatron. I think I got impatient because I remember how difficult the physics were in the original. And I think that it's just going to take some repetition for me to remember that in Cold Hard Crash in this game, you can get away with just trying to get the mask. That it's really not as bad. It's okay, we've got lullabies right here for you. Motolo Mule and Sonic have got you, Belle. I'm gonna try to go through this guy. Nope, that didn't work. That's fine. It didn't have to work because we only had one mask. So we're not gonna live the dream with making mask theory a thing. Indeed, Whitey Fox. My Warp 4 was pretty sloppy in my PB. I had like several game overs in behaving. I think I had a lot of like costly deaths just in general, and this is going better. We're not out of the woods yet, but it's going better. Engine takes a long time too, so unlike the other boss battles which have been done pretty quickly, Engine takes a while, and I think Engine is something that I'm definitely gonna have to figure out how to do better, because I really don't like that boss battle, and I feel like part of it is just the boss battle itself is not super great, but also that I might be doing something wrong, or I could be doing something better. You're turning off the router? Alright, fair enough. If that'll help, then I'm all for it. Hey, we didn't die to those nitros this time. That's like the first time we've done that jump first try. That's a jump I always have trouble with, because you have to jump really early compared to how you jump in the original game. That's some muscle memory that's been very hard to override. You don't need to spin the boxes on the reel, you can just go past them. I think that's just muscle memory. I think that's just muscle memory right there. Did you know that turning of the router actually makes your internet slower? Like which direction it's facing, even if you're not on Wi-Fi? There we go. As long as you've got that ASMR volume and tone of voice, Sonic, you'll be fine. As long as the volume doesn't change. Did you know that turning off your router makes your internet... Oh. You know, I can imagine that would have an impact on the performance of your internet. So this part of the boss battle is not as bad. The shoulders are the real culprit. Alright, so there I was just standing in a bad place. The lasers go very fast in the Insane Trilogy. Right there, though, is very annoying because you can't hit anything. Engine just goes completely off screen. He just goes completely off screen and just taunts you. Like right towards the beginning of the boss battle, you definitely saw that firsthand. Turning off your router will make your internet slower. Like if you leave your router, like, I I actually find the shoulders harder because it seems like at least to me that the shoulders like barely stay open. Like that's fine, right? Like when he launches his rockets, but right there, like what am I supposed to do with that? Like what am I supposed to do with that window? Like I feel like it just takes me forever, you know, to deal with the shoulders. Like here, I just cannot like deal with engine. Like I just have such a hard time with this particular phase. The third phase is actually really scary too. I think you have to stand in like totally different spots than you do before. I think that's what really helps. That's something that can make this better. Yeah, you have to be closer to the middle. I think that's something I just figured out. Like normally you should be on the edges. Otherwise. What? He's not dead? There we go. Oh, I see, Jordan. That's pretty interesting. Nice. Okay, so I think I figured out something that was going wrong. You can spam square and circle to make to hit engine, but you have to be careful with when you do it because sometimes Crash just crouches and assumes that you mean to do a slide, which is very weird. But yeah, I think I figured out that like if I stay closer to the middle with his shoulders, that it'll be fine. But there's no reason why with his arms that he's going way off the side of the screen because you can't get over there. Like you can't possibly get over that far. And that just ain't right. Bobby, that boss battle ain't right. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be turning off my router anytime soon, Jordan, especially after with what you mentioned. Alright, sounds good, Belle. Take it easy. I hope you have a good night and get some good sleep. No, it's all good, Ramatron. I don't mind backseating like that. Like, backseating like that is actually very helpful, especially when I'm, like, brand new to a game. There's backseating and then there's backseating. Oops. Should have just plain ol' avoided. Nope. Their first response is, have you tried turning your router off and on again? Doesn't that actually cause the problem? Doesn't that actually cause the problem in that case? Right, exactly. Exactly, Bucket. Nope. Do not trust that. What's going on, Bill? How are you doing today, buddy? I feel like I just said hi to you, but at the same time, you get a double hi. Just in case. And if I didn't, you're still covered. I actually could not remember for a second. Nice. Can I get up there? Probably not. Don't think so. All right, a little bit safe here, but overall not a bad piston. This piston went way better than my PB. Way better. I think you've got the credentials, Jordan. Absolutely. That's true. Like, I think that, like, sometimes they have a script, but then, like, but sometimes you go to customer service and they actually do help you quite a lot. Like, I remember when we were trying to get our internet up and running at this house, the cable company was actually really helpful. Like, they they actually gave us some information that we didn't know and really helped us out a lot to get up and running. Yeah, like, I think the reason why, it's not because people don't want help, it's that a lot of times, like, when people backseat, it's the wrong kind of help. Like, it's the wrong kind of help where it almost seems like it's kind of selfish and coming from, like, you know, the person, like, wanting to be an expert rather than, like, you know, doing what's best for the streamer necessarily. You know, or, like, creating, or, like, keeping a fun experience. Yo, what's going on, Bran? How you doing, buddy? Indeed, I am. Pez and I are firmly on the west coast. I am really not doing this very well, am I? These electric crab things just are really abysmal in this game. That is one thing I will say, is that I definitely do not like these guys. These are like public enemy #1 in the Insane Trilogy. Yeah, sure, we'll do that. And we'll just get zapped. I think I got stressed out because of... I think overall I just got stressed out with where those guys were at. Oh, oops. Now I game overed. So I tried to... I tried to, like, back up a little bit so that way I could get a slide going, because I was worried that if I immediately started to try to slide that I was going to actually hit that guy and he was going to kill me. But unfortunately, my safety strat actually got me killed too. Stressed out, basically. This level is basically called Stressed Out. Yeah, definitely, man. We're really close. We're like 20 minutes away from their place. So, and we were actually just hanging out with them yesterday. So, sometimes with traffic it can take a little longer, but overall, we are very close. So if you guys are going to be there, then we can definitely meet up. And everything's pretty close together in this town. Everything's pretty close together here. Alright, so that went a lot better. I definitely missed the out of bounds here. Definitely missed the out of bounds swag right there. But that's fine, because we can just jump over this guy, and that's something that we could not do before. The only thing you need to know about IT is, have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again? Dang, I got greedy. That's all good, though. Wow, I thought I was going to get hit there. At least we made it to, like, the next checkpoint. So even if I, like, did get kind of wrecked there, I would have been fine. No! Alright, so that cycle's bad. That cycle is bad. I gotta wait. There we go. That's better. Oh, I know. It works wonders. Me being my own IT tech, you know, both on and off stream. Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again? Usually is where your problem gets solved. That's just kind of how it works. Oh, what do you, are you going for a certification, by the way, Ramatron? Or what do you mean by that? Where you're going to be fully qualified in a year? Wait, you can spin those? You can. Both in the original trilogy and in this one, you can spin those shrink rays. I did not discover that until I actually started speedrunning the games. And that's a godsend, honestly. Gotta reload that myth. Wait, what does a myth do? I feel like it does something degenerate, but I'm not entirely sure. I've never actually seen one before. Oh, I see, Ramatron. Gotcha. Memory initialization file? Oh, okay. That sounds like it does something important. Wow, that was really close. Is it plugged in? Does it have batteries in it? Oh yeah, there's stuff like that I've forgotten too, where I've just been like, oh my god, this is a terrible issue, I can't figure out what's going on, and it's like, I forgot to plug it in, or like I forgot to plug something else in, like I forgot to plug like an auxiliary device in, or something. It happens sometimes. Nobody's immune. I think it's happened to everybody at least once or twice. Ooh, that guy's really far away. I did not realize how far away he was until just then, as a matter of fact. Nice snipe, by the way. Okay, you can just like walk around him. That's really funny. Those guys take up a lot less space in this game than they do in the previous one. Like, you really can't go around those guys in the original game, but here, easy. Yeah, hopefully, Ramatron. I definitely wish you good luck with that. Typically try to Google the install manual for the device faster than they can figure it out. I feel like a lot of IT is Googling too. Like, a lot of it is just kind of like Googling things and seeing if you can figure something out. If it works, though, you know, that's more power to you. It kind of makes your job, you know. You do have to be savvy, though. You got to know sometimes what to search for, because sometimes searching for computer issues can just get you a lot of red herrings. Definitely know that from my experience. Oh, I gotta invert the controls. I really wish they were inverted by default, but that's neither here nor there. Everybody has to go through the same thing, basically. I don't think I would be able to charge them either, Jordan. Or Ramatron, excuse me. I don't think I would be able to charge them either. That's just like, that's one of those things, you know, you just gotta, you gotta laugh about it, and, you know, it happens. Those things happen sometimes. Ah. Did not mean to get that close. That's alright, though. Knowing the LED codes and explaining what they mean usually gives plus 10 credibility. Like, as in lights? As in like actual LED lights? Or are you talking about something different? Okay, gotcha. Alright, cool. Cool deal. We've just got one more level and a big-headed villain to get rid of. And then we're moving on to Crash 3. I wonder if we could get a sub 4. Like, I wonder if we could get a sub 4 with loads. That would be pretty sick. Bitrate is at 1700 and it's dropping frames like crazy. I'm sorry to hear about that, man. Definitely. Are you on Wi-Fi or are you on wired internet, first of all? Because back at my old house, I was actually on Wi-Fi, and for the most part, it was fine. But, you know, there would be some occasional drop frames, or there would be some, you know, occasionally there would be a disconnect or something that just happened. You're on Wi-Fi? Yeah, definitely wire your internet, if you can. If you can wire your internet, then that would be ideal, because that solves a lot of stability issues. Your new internet can barely handle streaming. So, did you like end up getting a downgraded plan, or what happened with that, Bill? I wonder why your internet got worse. Normally, new internet means better. But yeah, like back at my house, like my room wasn't wired to the router downstairs, and it was not acceptable to run a Ethernet cord all the way down the stairs. Which I would have been personally fine with, but my family was not. So, unfortunately, I was not able to do much about it at that time. But now we've actually got a much better setup, which is really nice. Oh, I see, Bill. No worries, that totally happens sometimes. But yeah, definitely, Tartson has a very good point. What's up, Let's Play? How you doing? Yeah, I was gonna say, with my old desk, it used to have a door where my tower was, but I'm never gonna close it. So I just took the door off and was much happier for it and did not miss it. Did not miss it at all whatsoever. Yeah, you want to wire from your laptop to your router, exactly. Oh, oops. There's Cortex. There's Cortex. I have no clue. They know I stream, and they know I stream They know I stream all the time. But I don't know if they've actually watched my streams before. They never asked me what my they never asked me what my stream was on Twitch. I don't know if they just want to like leave me to it and kind of leave me alone for now. But I think like if I was at like Games Done Quick, or if like I was at like, you know, if there was something like really big going on, then I'd probably let them know about it for sure. Upload is a lot slower than the download. Yep. I can't see Cortex. Can I spin him? Can I do it? Yeah, we can do it. Do. Oops. That didn't work. Okay, so I think that's when you end the time. You end the time when you grab the running shoes. More like a room door? Oh, fair enough. I wonder if they would. Like, if I was at Games Done Quick, I wonder if they would. Like, that would be, like, really cool if they did. But I'm definitely not expecting it. Yeah, 1.5 is definitely not enough. 40 is definitely plenty, though. But, like, a lot of my extended family, like, my like, aunts, uncles, my grandparents, like, they don't really know much about it. Like, I remember mentioning it to them that, like, I've done it as a hobby in the past, but now that I do it all the time, and, like, I haven't really, now that they do it all the time, I haven't really, what was it called? They don't really understand, like, what it's become, you know, nowadays. Do I wear clean socks today? That would be really funny. That's definitely like a very like mom comment, you know? Yeah, PS1 games can sort of do 600, 700 bit rate. But, you know, I definitely hope that your internet situation improves soon, man, if you can help it. Yo, what's going on, Calm Black Man? The NST runs have been going good. I have, I got a pretty solid PB in Crash 1. I now have properly timed Crash 2 and 3 runs to go against as well, so that's pretty cool. And yeah. It is pretty freaking awesome, man. I definitely had a lot of fun today, too. What's going on, Mimi? How are you doing? And thank you for the good luck. Send me a whisper with that, Cam, so I can take a look at it later. I'm not going to be able to look at it right this second. Plans to keep it for 3 months? Yeah, hopefully no longer than that. I know for me, like, if suddenly I had to, like, seriously downgrade my internet, or I was, you know, had a severe, like, quality hit to the stream, that would definitely be, lame. Glad you're doing fine, Mimi. I definitely can't complain either. Life is good. Life is very good indeed. Yeah, it's definitely atypical. Definitely atypical to have upload faster than download. Usually it's either the same in a best case scenario, or it's just totally not the same. Or it's like, you know, significantly slower. That's one of the things that I hope My internet dreams are to live somewhere where Google Fiber is a thing. Be able to have 1,000 up, 1,000 down, and just like basically no problems. Okay, so that's what you were supposed to do there. That's what you were supposed to do there. You're supposed to just barely tap the X button. But I'm kind of lucky. For our cable, we actually have a pretty solid upload. We usually get like 30 plus upload. 30 plus upload, 100 plus down. So that's enough. Definitely enough. 1,000 up or down, you basically have peace of mind at that point, Jordan. That's like that's really what it comes down to. Is just the peace of mind of having like enough internet. And also, like, if you live with other people who stream, then that's great too. Like, if you're living in a house where you have multiple people who are going to stream video games, then you really want the extra bandwidth. Yeah, Cuddle Skip currently is no longer a thing, Crash McCloud, but, you know, who knows? Who knows? Maybe maybe there is some weird Cuddle Skip strat that we haven't found yet. Upload being 10% of the download. I think for me, it's been a smaller fraction. I think it's been like usually 20%, something like that. It's been like somewhere between like 15 to 20%. No! Oh, wow. That's actually a really good place to go. If you go right next to the boat, I believe that they shoot the cannons over your head, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm not dead right now. That's pretty cool, as a matter of fact. What's up, and please go away now? How's it going? It sounds weird to say hi to somebody who's already saying goodbye. But nevertheless, how are you doing today? Whoa, that bomb is like right there for some reason. Oh no, not at all. Not at all. Please go away. You can definitely stick around. Speaking of names that sound like people are leaving, what's up? See you later. How's it going? Indeed, we are on track to definitely make a huge dent in the world record for this category. We're not done yet. We're definitely far from done yet, but definitely definitely about to make a huge dent in this category. Excuse me. Doing the mock tornado strats. I don't know exactly how to best utilize them, but I am familiar with them. But yeah, I do know, I am familiar with the strats. I just don't know exactly how to best utilize them yet. That's something that I'm going to have more research into. What is happening here? Stuff, things, streaming, speedruns, banter. Poison Ivy exposure and the Blue Jays are losing does not sound like a good day for you, man. I'm so sorry. The hardest boss of the whole trilogy is... The hardest boss of the whole trilogy is the Great Hall, Cole Chris. That is easily the hardest boss in the game. No, it is not. There is fiber internet. There is fiber internet, Calm Black Man, but there is not Google Fiber, particularly. Fiber is also not available in all neighborhoods. Some neighborhoods only have cable. Some of them have cable and fiber. Yo, welcome back, Teets, by the way. Exactly. How do you answer a question about stuff? I mean, you just answer stuff. That's all you gotta say. Yo, sounds good, Ramatron. What's going on, Gerard? T97, how's it going? I am missing some boxes, and that's a-okay because we're doing an any percent full trilogy run. So we can definitely leave those boxes behind. And how's it going, by the way? The hardest boss is the Crash 1 color gems. True. So true. That is so true. Yikes. Hopefully you recover soon, man. And definitely go see a doctor if you're starting to feel a little bit conspicuous about that. If you have stuff on your stuff, you should probably get your stuff checked out. Also true. It sounds like your stuff needs inspecting in that case. The high road, you mean, Biggie Cheese? 100% is going to be much harder for the, much harder to accomplish for the full trilogy. I have done 102% and I've gotten max percent in each of the games before I actually started doing speedruns, but or full game speedruns rather. But that's going to take a very long time. Really, the only category that's had a lot of work done to it as well is Crash 2 102%, as far as the 100% categories go, and that definitely makes a difference too. I think it could easily be double-digit hour speedrun to do both Crash 1 and 2 102 and Crash 3 105. Definitely not in the market for that sort of run at this point. But as the categories get more optimized and as more is found out about them and some more work is done on them, I think that 100% full trilogy runs could be a thing. Am I doing Coco character switching? Yeah, I need to go do that after in between warp rooms. I need to set it up that way. So I'm gonna try it. I've never actually tried it yet, but that's a good thing to remind myself about. So after I beat Tiny, I need to go into the center of the warp room and switch to Coco. What's going on, Bulging Manhood? Slide spinning, I believe, is still the fastest in Crash 2 and 3. When you get the Crash shoes, or like the speed shoes, slide jumping is faster, but alright, I just did it now, just so I don't forget. I did it now, just so I don't forget, but when you get the Crash shoes, holding down the Crash shoes button and slide jumping is fastest, but we're not gonna worry about that in any percent runs. Yo, what's going on, Kramer? Dude, my weekend's been pretty solid. It has been a very good weekend thus far. How are you doing, by the way? Oops, that's okay. These levels feel so different. You move very fast through these levels. Very different sort of physics in general. Can't enter bosses, underwater levels, and the Crash plane levels. That is true. That is very true. What's going on, Naynad? Why would you switch to Coco if it slows you down? The reason why is because in Coco levels, if you switch to Coco before you trigger the animation to have the game switch you to Coco, oh, that didn't work. Then it actually is a little bit faster. You save a little bit time. You save a little bit of time on the animation. So it actually does save you a little bit of time. It's a very subtle like optimization. Just finished dinner and you got your dessert in front of you? Nice, man. What's for dinner, by the way? Or what's for dessert, I should say. Couldn't we get everyone in all levels? It kind of makes sense that you have certain levels where you need to play as Crash versus you need to play as Coco. It gives you an incentive to, like, it basically makes you play both characters, you know? You end up getting some seat time with all of them. I am Nanad. Yesterday I actually did some Crash 2. I did some Crash 2 practicing to kind of de-rust the OG Crash 2. So it has commenced, as a matter of fact. Even though I'll probably be streaming the Insane Trilogy for the foreseeable future, I do want to do 1545 practice offline. Do you remember that time I mentioned I saw ferrets in the beach? Vaguely. What about it? When do we get to thrash the mate? Sooner than you might think, Matolo Mule. Sooner than you might think. Coco saved you in Rings of Power? I think I was flying as Coco in Rings of Power, and I actually had a really hard time still. I don't know, though. I could just not be very good at Rings of Power in the remake. Alright, so one thing you gotta remember is you gotta manually pick up the power-up, and you gotta manually jump into the portal. There we go. And we have a tiny tiger split. Nailed it. Fish, rice, and paprika and carrot and butter vegetables. And now you got pudding and noopers. Which is chocolate pudding. That's awesome. Sounds good to me, man. Yeah, imagine if we didn't need sleep, the world would be a totally different place. They're actually minks. Ah, interesting. Gee whiz. Gee whiz. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. There we go. So I think that's the character switching. I don't know if I did it correctly. I don't know if I did that correctly, but the idea is that in between while the level is loading, you walk to the side of the level and switch it as Coco, so that way while the level is loading, you can actually switch to Coco and it won't trigger that manual character switch like you're used to seeing. Is the world 2 so long, or has something happened? Well, it's gonna look a little weird because I'm really far ahead of my PB. So the differential between my current PB and the run that I have makes it look like my splits are a lot worse. No, I didn't actually have a tiny tiger split there, Sonic. So basically, the splits where you don't have a time currently entered, it records the time on the timer in that split and saves it as a segment. Oh, that didn't work. So basically, I'm gonna make sure I get this checkpoint. Hang on a second. So that's why it looks a little weird. It looks like why all of a sudden there's a global time versus like a comparison. But that's the reason why it looks that way. Sup, Muma? How you doing? Well, I got the crystal. It's possible a less attentive me may not have actually gotten it. Yeah, that's true, Ramatron. If you've got a bunch of Coco levels, if you got like multiple Coco levels in a warp room, you just want to do them together. That makes sense. I don't know if there are actually multiple Coco levels, like in the same warp rooms. I'm trying to think if there are going forward, because the rest of these levels are crash levels. There we go. Yes, it does move faster. See you later. The tiger levels and the polar levels do move faster than the original games. Definitely. The tiger you ride on is Tiny Sun. Well, Tiny Sun has definitely not followed in his father's footsteps, and he's much cuter for it, I think. When you do any percent, can you start with Crash 1 and then Crash 3 and then end with 1? Yes, you can. The order of the games does not matter. The order of the games does not matter in which you do them, as long as you do all 3 games and you start and end the time properly. That's all that matters. For me, I just do them in Crash 1, 2, 3 because it makes sense, and there's no like console switching. There's no, there's no, things like that to consider like you would with an original Trifecta run, where you may end up doing them in different regions and on different consoles. You can do the platforming as Coco, so there's no reason to switch back to Crash. That's actually a good point. I kind of did it just out of habit, and I also did it partially to practice to make sure that I could do it the next time I do it. But yeah, technically that was actually not necessary, but it doesn't really lose that much time. It's maybe a second, maybe a very small amount. Oh, no, you do not have to, Calm Black Man. There are individual game categories as well as multiple game categories, which is the one that I'm doing currently. What's going on, Barto, by the way? How's it going? And yeah, I'm getting more comfortable with it, Kramer. Getting more comfortable with it. She can slide spin flare. She can do the same movement tech that Crash can. Is it possible to make that big jump in Crash 2 Road to Ruin on all versions? Yes. Yes, it is. The gem route jump is pretty easy. The jump to get to the secret part where that huge batch of boxes is with the 1 TNT in the middle is much harder. So one of the jumps is pretty straightforward. The other one is not so much. Nice. Yes, I can still PB even in spite of pizza as a distraction. Am I going to do any 100% runs today? Probably not today. I would like to try Crash 2 102. I think I would like to try Crash 2 102 at some point. But right now I'm having a lot of fun with the 90% category. So for the time being, I'm not going to. At least not today. At least not today, I should say. I am interested in doing some hundo runs as well, though. Yeah, exactly, Flare. I think Diamond Air is the current source on Crash 3. He just improved his time a lot, actually, in Crash 3. And that is... Whoops. He just improved his time a lot and has been doing a lot of work on Crash 3 90% in particular. There we go. It's okay, Electric Tunes. It's all good, man. You're stuck on the lab level? Which particular part? You got stuck in the floor under the gem? Are you talking about OG Crash 2 or Insane Trilogy Crash 2, Barto? Just so we're in the on the same page here. Yeah, I will be doing the OG Crash games. See you later. I will definitely still be doing OGs. If anything, especially for the 1545, and there's still some progress that I want to make in some of the OG Crash games. Keep in mind, too, that CTR has no remaster, and I would like to go back to that one. Okay, so you must have embedded, then, Barto. That is an unfortunate circumstance that happens with the original game, especially on PAL, where you can basically clip into the floor and get stuck. So, if you land on the edge of the platform, like if you land on the edge of the gem platform and you enter at a certain angle, that can happen. What am I going to do after this run? What I'm thinking about doing is, so I don't think I want to do Crash 1 90% again, but I wanted to try one of the other 90% categories and see how I can do with it. I'm thinking about doing either Crash 2 or 3. I'm thinking about doing either Crash 2 or 3. any percent runs. Like basically just to focus on a single game. Since I won't have enough time to do another full trifecta run. Whoa, that is... Yeah, this guy, I forgot, he's the hardest working Cortex employee. Wow, that was really close. No letter is silent or softened, kind of like... So it's knoppers? Knoppers? Is that how it goes? The lab is... I think like the lab is challenging partially because like you got to be patient in like waiting for the cycles, you know, especially if you're not speedrunning. You just got to take it easy. Hacked into Crash 1 and see what goes beyond the bounds and how certain mechanics work. What was discovered, as a matter of fact? You can do it, Ramatron. It's kind of like the pits in Crash 2. You just have to... the pits in Crash 2, you basically need to extend your slide and make sure you hold jump like down as much as possible, and you can get that extra little oomph. You can get that extra little oomph to make that jump. You definitely can do it, as you can see. No, we're talking about pudding. Not only do I look like a German, but I can speak German. There you go. What if I actually am German? And I just don't know that. Whoa, that didn't work. I've gotten less good at dodging that guy since my time trial grinding here. Since my Hologride time trial grinding days, of which there was only one. Oh, that's Boundary Break. Ah, okay. Yeah, I heard about Boundary Break, and you just described it to me, but I never really made the connection between the two. That's awesome. Barto, that joke goes too far. Not a fan of Hitler jokes in here. The game's under render anything not in view. Yeah, I guess like they have the extra resources, so they don't have to go crazy with trying to load stuff in advance. That makes sense. Or unrender, excuse me. I guess like that basically adds more detail to what's already on screen. Right. It's really funny to see those cutscenes and when you cancel them and they only say the first word of their dialogue. Entropy and Engine both say so. That's one thing that I learned. Yo, time to thrash the mate indeed. Whoa, what is happening? Aw, rip. I don't know what happened there. I guess I just gotta get like a really good glitch high jump. Yeah, if you do a really good glitch high jump, it should be fine. What's up, Yin Yang? How you guys doing? No! I was right there and spinning him. I was right there and spinning him, and for some reason he did not die. I don't know what happened there. I might have needed to hit his back, actually. No, he just has invincibility frames. He has invincibility frames, and you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. I don't remember this being that difficult, though, the first time I did this boss battle. Like, see? Like, for some reason, if I sit there and try to spin him, like, his hitbox is still there. And that's really bad. And that's really bad. But yeah, I remember just, like, killing him very easily last time, which is one of the things that I'm, like, that's, like, I'm finding a little frustrating. There we go. So that ended up working out just fine. But that was like, I just don't remember having that much trouble, and I don't know like what was different, which is like the one thing that was bothering me. Oh wow, the portal's over there. All right, I mean, we're still really far ahead. That's the thing. Like, we're still really far ahead, but it's definitely just kind of like, I just got myself like very confused there. Exactly, Matola Mule. So I think all of these are crash levels. Yeah, pretty much all of these are crash levels. I think Deep Trouble is the... No, Dynamite's the one to go for first. I think Dynamite's the one you should go for first. You can't spin him before he fires the first shot. Can you jump on him, though? Like, can you actually jump on Dingo Dial, though, and get away with it? I don't know if he's just, like, totally invulnerable, or if he's only invulnerable to, like, certain attacks. Alright, sounds good, Jordan. Ah! Got any tips for the Gold Relic in High Time, Chris JD? Are you talking about OG Trilogy or Insane Trilogy? First of all. Wow, it just kind of like spun off that guy. In the OG, invincibility matters a lot. If you're just going for, the regular relic. Say a melodramatic no. Just like a Darth Vader, basically. I think I nailed it. How much longer do I reckon I'll be streaming for today? Probably at least 2 or 3 more hours. Something like that. I don't know, I might get really motivated and end up streaming for longer. But usually I stream for about 6-7 hours, sometimes closer to 8, depending on my motivation. But usually that's around when I get tired. It's like the 6 or 7 hour mark, and then I have a hard time speedrunning. Like when I mess up. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have to mess up for that to happen. It's just gotta be one of those things that happens organically. It's just gotta happen on its own. I really can't do it canned, you know? Crash, I am your father. Who is Crash's father, though? Alright, sounds good, Ramatron. Take it easy, buddy. We'll see you in a little bit. Yo, Gerard, hitting that sub button. Dude, thank you so much with the Twitch Prime sub, nonetheless. Man, thank you for hitting that sub button. I do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. By the way, an update on my emote. The update is that I have no updates. It's still getting approved. I submitted it on Wednesday, so I'm hoping within the next few days that my emote will get approved. But there's a lot of emotes going through right now. Everybody's got their affiliate sub buttons, and there's going to be a huge backup with getting emotes approved. So I do appreciate you guys' patience, but the emote is done and is submitted. It's just currently is just waiting on approvals. I was not paying attention. I got nobody to blame but my damn self there. No! Oh, he turned around a lot faster than I thought he would. Dang. At least we got to the first checkpoint, though. That's always really bad when you start at the very beginning of this level. It takes a long time to get started. I don't actually know if there's an Aldi nearby. I've never actually been to one. Usually the grocery stores around here are like, there's basically like 2 grocery stores that run things. There's Safeway and then there's QFC. And that's about it. But I've never seen Safeway have such a big presence, though. I've seen Safeways, like, occasionally back in my hometown. But never like this. Yo, thank you, Gerard. I appreciate it. I definitely know, like, emotes are not a huge bit of criteria for everybody. But I do like to have them, though, because emotes are really cool. A lot of people really like emotes, and you know, I think that like that's something that I do want to have available for you guys. Isn't there a bigger small business presence? There is in general. Like, there's not as many like chain restaurants, like at least around like downtown. When you go out in the suburbs, there's more chains that you see, but there's a wide variety of businesses, which I think is pretty cool. There is definitely a wide variety of businesses. So what, Entropy? Come on, man. Hit me with it. But it is very cool. Depending on the neighborhood you go in the city, too, you might find, like, 0 chains. Which is actually something that I realized when I visited a while ago. Like, the neighborhood that we were in for the majority of our trip to visit was a neighborhood where there were really no chain restaurants. I saw maybe 1 or 2. And that was it. You don't really like the bike levels? The physics are a little bit interesting in the sense that, like, it is a bit hard to do precise turning, but I think the bike levels are definitely still improved from the originals. The wheelie physics is very different. That was the biggest learning curve for me. And I'm still not perfect at it, but it took me a long time to get used to it. Smurf Jafar? What? How does that work? I'm so confused. Because you can't just, like, tap the accelerator anymore to, like, do precise turning. If you just tap the accelerator like you could in the original game, you're actually still going to be in this drift state, which makes it harder to turn. What's up, Kona? How are you doing? Is this game worth buying from a casual standpoint? Absolutely. Absolutely, you will be glad that you did. Even from a speedrunning standpoint, you'll be glad you did too. Oh no, 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 no. I might not win the race now. I might not win the race now. That was very, very bad. Actually, you know what? I might be fine. I might be fine. I might be fine. Hang on, guys. Focus time. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, there we go. I was really scared for a second there that we were going to lose the race. And I think that also happened in my current PB here. I think that's what happened there. I do P-Flare. I've played probably as many racing games, if not more, than platforming games as a kid growing up. But I played a lot of arcade racers. I really like sim racing too. Like, I also grew up on Gran Turismo and kind of graduated from there as racing sims got newer and more sophisticated. I really enjoy. I actually have a racing wheel set up that I've. In the past, I used to play it a lot more, but I still like to play like Assetto Corsa, iRacing, and a lot of like hardcore racing sims. But I do love me some Ridge Racer, some Jet Moto, some Wipeout, Need for Speed. Like, especially the older Need for Speed games. Especially Daytona! Those of you guys who have played Daytona USA will know that jingle all too well. I've never heard of announcers, like voice actors, like basically song vocalists that are more excited than the ones that are in Sega Rally Championship and in and in Daytona, USA. I've never heard more enthusiasm. Do you remember which one it was, Biggie Cheese? And yo, what's up, Feta Crash? How you doing? You're talking about Kuru, right? See you later. I do watch Kuru a good amount, and yeah, I definitely do enjoy his. I definitely do enjoy watching his streams too. He plays like all of the like old racing games that I used to play, and he's definitely quite good at all of them too. Yo, what's going on, Fox D? How are you doing? Yeah, let's not forget the rolling stat. I swear to God, that guy's got freaking pipes, man. He holds that start like he holds that out for so long, so long. The new Sebastian Vettel? Wait, really? Who is it? Oh yeah, Forza 3 and 4 were amazing on Xbox 360. Definitely have very fond memories playing those games as well. And of course, the piece de resistance of Game Over, yeah! Please go look up the Game Over screen for Sega Rally Championship when you do get a chance. You will be very glad you did. We talk often about how the Game Over screen in this game, but it's got nothing on the Sega Rally Championship Game Over screen. That guy is just so happy. He's just the happiest Game Over, basically the happiest Game Over screen you ever did see. I think I will, Pete Blair. That definitely sounds like a game that I will enjoy, and I'm definitely interested in it. What's up, Psychedelic? Oh, it's all good, Psychedelic. It happens sometimes. I understand that life does get in the way. Yo, Dudenet, thank you for the bit. By the way, I appreciate it. And how's it going? Did I hear what happened in Hamburg the past few days? I did. I'd rather not go to it in detail right here, right now, but I'm willing to talk about it in private, though, if you're interested. Do not wish to speak about it in chat much further, if you don't mind. Okay, so I had to get a lot closer to that guy, and apparently had to get a lot closer to that Scorpion, too, unfortunately. Are people still interested in racing games? I mean, Kuru does pretty well, honestly. He regularly gets like 300 to 500 viewers doing racing games. I think that like racing games in general are a little bit outdated, but there definitely is a community, and there's a very passionate community of sim racers. People who do play on realistic setups. Euro Truck Simulator actually is a fairly popular game, I would say, on Twitch as well. If you want to talk about simulators, this is impossible. By the way, this is actually just impossible. I am not able to spin properly. There we go. Mario Kart is a simulator? It's a salt simulator. It is a salt simulator right here. DCJ, thank you for the host, by the way. I do appreciate it. Yeah, that was very weird. Like, I was just not, like, getting what I needed there. It's kind of sad to see fewer arcade racers. I know. I think it's like there's a lot of realism that's called for in games nowadays. So like very arcadey, like over the top type games don't really capture people like they did before. It's like people want a more serious emotional experience with their video games, as opposed to, you know, kind of something to just, rather than have their video games be something to just kind of goof off to and be ridiculous. You know, I think that the nature of games and what people want psychologically from games has changed, in the mainstream eye at least. Farming Simulator? What about Goat Simulator? Can't forget that one. Oh, is it really? I haven't checked lately. Well, the thing is, Gerard, it's really weird to actually spin them properly. Like their hitboxes are are very small, but they move really fast. So it's kind of hard to get that sweet spot, you know? Dropping frames here and there. It looks like I have dropped a small amount of frames, but it looks like it was a very small amount, and we are good to go going forward. What's going on, DCJ? How are you doing today? I haven't checked it lately, so I'm not entirely sure. God Sonic. Honestly, I would not be upset if I got a game over yeah, as opposed to an Uka Uka game over. Whoops, I forgot you can't NSJ in this game. Glad you're doing alright, by the way, DCJ. That's awesome. I like the older Need for Speed games. I haven't really played many of the newer ones, and they've looked kind of less interesting to me since Carbon. But anything from, like, Most Wanted to previous, I've played a lot of, and it's been really fun. Wow, that was really close. Is remote play set on 60? Nope. It is on 30 because the game runs in 30 FPS. So the stream is in 30 and the game capture is in 30. No! Because the game only runs in 30. This game made me want to get a PlayStation 2, DCJ, and so I did. And so I did, as a matter of fact.
But yours soon will be too.
This isn't like the only reason I got a PS4, but this was definitely a big reason to do so. There we go. That's a pretty good time save. Video quality high. I can't do it in 1080, partially because I don't stream in 1080, but also because that's only available for PS4 Pros. So the highest resolution I can do is 720, which is the one that I've selected. Oh, you like Need for Speed Carbon? Well, that's totally fine, Footloose. You know, definitely to each their own. Absolutely. Oh, I forgot to switch to Coco during that transition, but that's okay. How come I'm... Yeah, I am very far ahead right now, Calm Black Man, but all it takes is one train wreck. We're definitely not out of the woods yet. Yeah, the Entropy boss fight does look pretty good overall. It's a very good looking boss fight. Did I plug the PS4 through the PC? It's actually wired and connected directly to the router. So I think that's the best way to set up the remote play currently. I did plug it directly into my PC, but it actually made it worse. It actually made remote play worse. So right now I'm actually playing directly off of the PS4, so I'm not seeing any extra lag. I just have remote play running in the background so I can do video capture on it. And even if I was using the remote play window, there is very little lag. It's like very, very small. Steering wheel for the PS2 and Burnout 3 and The Simpsons Hit and Run. Burnout 3 was amazing. That's like one of my favorite racing games ever made. Love it. I've ever seen a true 4K resolution video and it's literally sharper than real life. I have seen it. I don't know. I guess we'll I don't know. I guess we'll still keep buying it because new technology. I don't know. I don't know if we've necessarily gone too far, but technology has come a long way. And it might get ridiculous to the point to where like the human eye might not even be able to tell the difference between certain resolutions when we get to a certain point. Dude, flies are no fun though. For real, flies are no fun, and I definitely do not like insects whatsoever. I'm definitely not a fan of insects one bit. Oh, that doesn't work. That's weird. You can sneak by the ramp, but you cannot sneak by the mine. Oh, I gotta be careful too. Yo, thanks, Gerard. So charming. Plugging into PC might save some bandwidth. Yes, but I couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to do. Like, it was still trying to, Actually, I think I know what you mean now. I don't think I had it set up correctly the first time. I may not have had it set up correctly the first time, but yeah, if I can optimize the setup, that would be great. Because like right now I'm using the same bitrate that I did before, and it's fine. Like, I'm not having any performance issues to the stream. Like, it has not become like any worse than it was before. No, I kind of know what you mean though, Sonic, and like it is kind of interesting to think about. I think we do bye-bye bones next. There we go. And then we switch back to Crash for... Oh, no, we don't need to. We don't need to switch back to Crash until the boss battle. So we can just stay as Coco. That's pretty cool. Invert vehicle controls. Yes. I like that. Coco's like, hey, look at me! She's like so excited. She is so excited to be in that plane. I don't blame her. This would be really fun. Okay, I think the reason why it didn't work was because I don't think I changed my PS4 to set up a wired connection. Because I thought you had to set up a wired connection, you had to plug it directly into the router, but if you can just set up a wired connection and plug it directly into the computer, then that might work. But yeah, we can work on it later and optimize it further. Nailed it. Coco waving, she's just like, hi, Mom! Like, totally just unaware of the chaos around her. You know, it's crazy. What's going on, King Chizzy? I actually do not know if it was my capture card that was the problem. The capture card does add load to the stream. It didn't actually affect the performance. It just basically makes my CPU work harder. Because there was a problem with the... I'm trying to think like what I want to do now. I think Sphinxinator is the level that we should do next. It might be a different problem altogether, and I have to troubleshoot it later. But I know I have had significantly less problems with doing remote play instead of a direct capture card. I will say this though, there was a problem with live split and my capture cards where my capture card would just kind of stop. Like, it would just stop working properly. So it might still be that remote play is the best way to go, especially in the case of live split. That's only true for HDMI though. For composite video, I've never had any problems with it. Like, it's been flawless for composite video. It's just the PS4 that live split and my Elgato were not jiving together on. But now, but live split works totally fine with remote play. I have an Elgato Game Capture HD, King Chizzy. I've had it since I've started streaming, and it's been a good capture card, all things considered. But I have had problems with it the past few months intermittently. Again, for composite video, not a problem, never had an issue. But for HDMI, it's been kind of finicky. I want to upgrade capture cards though. I think overall, I do want to upgrade capture cards, and I already have a capture card in mind that I want to upgrade to. The Blackmagic Intensity Pro is the one that I'm looking at right now, and it's a internal capture card, which definitely has a whole new slew of benefits, regardless of which one you use. And that's the one I've currently got my eye on so far. Yeah, hopefully so, Kramer. No! Oh, rip. That's a very, very long death right there. Yeah, like, the one thing about the Elgato is that, like, it does record in pretty good quality, and you do get a lot of... You're able to record a lot of different formats for very cheap, but the delay on the capture card is something that can be a little bit annoying to work through in OBS. There we go. Sorry you fell to your death. It's okay. See you later. It happens. Avermedia Live Gamer Extreme. I've heard good things about Avermedia. I've heard recommendations about the Avermedia LGX as well, but I don't know if it has a breakout cable to do a component and a composite video. Because my primary problem is that I need to record HDMI, component down the road, and composite. So I need it to record like everything. And trying to get a capture card that records everything definitely limits your options. I think we do Future Frenzy next, and then we do Tomb Waiter, and then we're good. Broman and T-Rex make good recommendations for capture cards in their YouTube series. Can you link me to their to that video so I can watch it a little bit later? That would be really cool. Because I know Goth Alien has spoken very highly about the Magewell. It's like a Magewell capture card. Oh, that is the Live Gamer Extreme? Oh, did not know that. I thought the LGX was a different card. Yo, what's going on, White Snake? Whoa, almost fell there. How's it going? Did not know that those two were the same card. But can it read a composite input, King Chizzy? Is a question. What's going on, B Snake? Not in the Insane Trilogy. Not in the Insane Trilogy. Neutral slide jump is not faster, as far as I'm aware. Slide spinning is fastest for Crash 2 and 3 at this point. If you have the Crash shoes, which you would in a 105 run or during your time trials, then yes, then slide jumping, not neutral slide jumping, would be faster. NSJ is faster? Well, I just did NSJ and it didn't do anything. So, but it is different. It is different with whether you have the Crash shoes versus when you don't. But yeah, the Magewell capture card, it only does HDMI, was the point that I was trying to get around to. Or I think that there's it's still debatable like what the difference in speed is for non-crash shoes versus slide spinning and slide jumping. But when you have the crash shoes, it is definitely slide jumping. That much I know. What's going on, Fenny and New One? How are you guys doing? Glad you're doing well, by the way, New One. I do enjoy this game very much, Fenny. I've having a ton of fun with it since its release. Been having a ton of fun with it. And doing pretty well myself, as a matter of fact. I'm not saying he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm just saying that, as far as I know, there wasn't a big difference between slide spinning and slide jumping. If that's changed, then that's totally fine. But I do know that there is a bigger difference between slide jumping and slide spinning when you get the crash shoes, which in this case, because it's an any percent run, I'm not going to have it. You know? And yo, thank you for the good luck, V-Snake. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you looking out for me, though. You know, I definitely want to know if something's faster. I definitely do want to know that. I'm gonna go grab that mask just in case some shenanigans happen. 102 and 105 are a little bit longer and are not quite as sexy, Fenny, as they used to be. You know, as like their OG categories. Ah, rip. Alright, so yeah, I blocked off the roof there, and I wasn't able to get the maximum arc on my jump, which is really what caused a problem there. And the door crushed me. And the door crushed me. It's like listening to a sports cast. Is that good or bad? What's sexy? I mean, like, when I say sexy, I mean, like, it's not quite as, like, smooth, or it's not quite as, like, it's not quite as, like, nice, you know? It's not quite as, like, I don't want to say optimized, but it's kind of hard to describe, you know? I gotta be careful. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. And yo, thanks for the good luck vibe, Corn. What's the current world record? The current world record is 4 hours, 29 minutes, and 37 seconds with loads. Don't remember what the exact time is without loads, and that's by me. And we are going to, hopefully, if we can hold our own, we'll be able to beat this record and go a lot faster than that. They're both equal without running shoes. Okay. I guess, like, in some cases, it might be, like, more advantageous to slide spin versus slide jump. But it's nice to know that you have flexibility. Yep, different routing. You gotta do some extra stuff. Not all of the same tips and tricks are allowed or are possible, but some new ones are possible, as a matter of fact. And no worries, man. This shit's confusing. This shit's confusing. I mean, that's between you two, Gerard. I won't entertain that. I won't entertain that discussion any further. Yo, what's up, Dust? How's it going, buddy? You're equal speed-wise, but the slide spin gives you more slides per second. Okay. I always felt like the slide jumping without crash shoes looked a little bit slower visually, but I wasn't entirely sure why, and that would make sense. And yo, thanks, Kramer. I appreciate it, man. Definitely check that out after the stream. My aim is much worse on this engine boss battle than it is on the first one. This one I definitely do not have a great sense of what to do. But his aim is a lot worse too, which is really nice. That chain gun is like no joke in the original one. What is this engine fight? Things. This engine fight is stuff and things. What's up, Mexit? How are you doing? I have no clue, but just like in Crash 2, he does go a little bit out of your range. He does go a little bit out of your range sometimes during at least this first part. The second part, he doesn't really do that. But in the Crash 2 boss battle, there is also some problems where he ends up basically just like goes off screen, at least during the first phase. Uh-oh. Can I reach that? Dude, I don't even think I could reach that. This is definitely gonna need some, work. Okay, so I can go pretty far to the left there. Alright, cool. That's nice. There was a spaceship fight in the OG game. Oh yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a spaceship fight, but it was in Crash 2, but it was a, you fought him basically in like this floating mech thing in a small arena. I'm like dangerously flirting the edge of game overing as well. So I might actually intentionally game over in Flaming Passion so I can start off with 4 lives again. It's convenient for me to do so. So I think I might just do that because I'm a little bit concerned about potentially game overing during Warp 5. The Streaming 101 series is super awesome. That's pretty cool. I remember, I don't know if they're still doing it anymore, but Next Level, which is a team on Twitch of, I think it's 7 streamers with like a mix of different speedrunners, like variety streamers and stuff. They used to have a monthly podcast that actually also has some really good insight into streaming and some of the things that go largely unsaid about streaming and building a community and all that and getting started and just even some Twitch etiquette type stuff which people really don't talk about. And I think that's definitely a good series to watch too. It's just called Next Level Podcast. I totally forgot to game over on purpose, by the way. So this is actually fine. It's better to do that here than later. That's actually true. He does throw apples like over himself in Insane Trilogy Crash 2, which I think is a really nice touch. Otherwise, the Wumpa Fruit just kind of seemed to come out from Crash's belly, and it's very awkward. Whoops. Does Crash... Whoa! What the heck? I was just saying that like it does look kind of weird how Crash's Wumpa Fruit apparently appears to come out of his stomach. In the original Crash 2 with like no real explanation. Oh geez. Don't like that. There we go. Yeah, I mean, who else casually has a bazooka in their back pocket? Crash is one lucky guy. That's for sure. What's going on, Sweet Mooch and Josie Klein? How are you guys doing? Yes, English. What do you mean, Sweet Mooch? Oh man, I remember having that conversation, Josie, with a lot of the kids in the neighborhood that would call them apples. I think they just did it I think they just did it to be trolls back then. But I remember at the time I would always have to correct them every time they said apples. Always. There might be a lot of non-English streamers that are streaming this game as well. That has happened before. I remember the first time. I remember on like day one. I think the top row of the Insane Trilogy was mostly non-English streamers, which I thought was kind of interesting. Touche, Vivecorn. Touche. The Japanese manual calls them apples. I guess they like that would make more sense than trying to call them like Wumpa Fruit, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to like attach it to something more real. Pipples. Yeah, that's right, Drago. That's right. Got to pronounce it properly. That sounds pretty awful, Kramer. I'm sorry to hear about that, man. Am I an English streamer or a Finnish streamer? Depends on if we're talking about language or heritage. In this case, I'm talking about language, of course. Pretty sure they are peaches. I think somebody brought up mangoes, which I didn't really consider beforehand. And they look a lot like mangoes. Oh, that's not good. What's up, Corpsey? How you doing? Thank you for the good luck, by the way. What is my heritage? My dad's side of the family is, at least on his dad's side of the family is Native American predominantly. But throughout the years and through many marriages, it's, you know, I have a lot less percentage of it than, you know, some of my ancestors do. But like a mixture of like Polish, German, Irish. It's kind of a weird mix of like European descent. What's up, Leet Washer, by the way? How you doing? Kramer, you got no love for the flies, and I do not blame you. I don't have much love for them either, as a matter of fact. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It's a mixed bag, Gerard. a very mixed bag of heritage. Alrighty. We're getting closer. We're definitely getting closer. So we got Gauntamar, Orange Asphalt, Mad Bombers, and then we're outie. And then that's all 3 games. More into Gojira. I don't know why Spyro flopped in Japan. Did like Banjo or like other collectathon games do very well, or are they just not into that sort of genre? I really don't know. Sub 4 with loads is possible. Sub 4 without loads is, yeah, definitely possible. What's going on, Rhinestones? How you doing? Indeed, indeed, it comes time now to do Insane Trilogy speedruns, and I'm super excited. It's been a lot of fun. Kowalski? What about Kowalski? It's just because of the Japanese versions of Spyro? That's fair. I heard that they changed a lot in the Japanese version of Spyro 1. I heard that they changed a lot in that version, and that it was called like Ripto the Dragon or something, like because of a bad translation or something. I don't know. I heard about that, but I'm not exactly sure. Am I going to eventually do 105? No clue. I don't know at this point if I want to do 105 for the Insane Trilogy, or do it a lot, I should say. Definitely got some work to do in the OG 105 as well. Oh, it depends on the characters. That's fair. I could definitely see a misconception there if it looks like Ripto, or if it looks like something, you know, I can definitely see that confusion. How were they? See you later. Saw Gojira live 2 times with Meshuggah. Did they always perform together, or did they not? Okay. Yeah, that guy takes a little bit longer to get ready, thankfully. I'm having too much fun to stop though, Yin Yang Foxes. I just can't do it that easily. Probably not, Gerard. This week is gonna be interesting because in 5 days the 1545 starts. So I'm actually on top of my Insane Trilogy runs. I'm gonna be doing mostly offline OG Trilogy practice. Mostly offline OG Trilogy practice for the 1545 race, since I'm doing Crash 200% and Crash 3 105 for my team there. We also have, I keep forgetting to plug this, but we also have Alex Mandy versus the World, which is going to be a race of Alex Mandy versus 5 different Crash runners across Crash 1, 2, 3, CTR, and Crash Bash. And I will be his opponent for Crash 3 105. That's happening Thursday. Starting at like 6, I want to say it was like 6:20 p.m. local time, like Pacific US time. Yes, Dust. Alex Mandy versus the World. This is happening. And I think the opponents were chosen to be around his skill level. And we have pretty close PBs in 105, so I think that was one of the reasons why certain runners were asked over others. But it should actually be a very close race. Our PBs are all very close to his for all of us as like individual runners. So it'll be interesting. And that is happening Thursday night. It's going to be a late one. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming on my account. It might be streamed to a totally different race account, but definitely stay tuned for that as well. So there's going to be a lot of OG Trilogy stuff happening at the end of the week, and my runs start for the 1545 on Friday afternoon. 2 p.m. Eastern US time is when my Crash 2 and Crash 3 runs start. Who's streaming it? Crisco Wild is the guy to talk to about organizing the race. I'm actually going to be setting up my stream tonight for the race, so I'll let you guys know more for sure once I have a better idea of where I'm actually streaming to. But it's going to be crazy. Is Ann Speedrun Relay Race? How did I not notice that typo was in there? That typo's been in there for a long time. That's okay, though. I'll fix it. I'll fix it after the stream. What's up, Aturio? How's it going? I'm sorry to hear about that, man. But there probably will be more races to come like that. Like the 1545 is... Hopefully the 1545 goes well and we can do more of them in the future. So I'm hoping to do more 1545 races, and excuse me. There will definitely be more special events to come, I will say. I need to follow the arrows. I have no clue what the route is for this level. By the way, I'm just winging it. No pun intended. Or maybe it was intended, as a matter of fact. Whoa! I am dead! I'm almost dead. I do not remember that, Dust. So if you have pointed it out before, then I must have missed it. But, yeah, I do need to fix that. Did not know that was there. Get HP, destroy these guys. We gotta go out of our way a little bit there. Didn't even remember these levels until now. They're fun. Like, they can be very confusing, especially if you, like, don't have a plan or you don't have a route, you know, for each of these levels. But, at least in OG Crash 3, like, now that I kind of have a good idea of, like, what my route's supposed to be and where I'm supposed to go, it makes it a lot better. Makes it a lot better. Yo, what's going on, Stu? How you doing, man? Just gonna get this. I'm gonna get that balloon because it's basically in my way and it's kind of free to just pick it up. There we go. Welcome back, Ramatron. We're about to be. We're about to be, man. And I'm gonna touch the portal correctly this time. I'm going to touch it correctly this time. But yeah, last time I ended the run mistakenly when I picked up the power-up, so I had to retime it later when I actually entered the exit portal, because that's when you're supposed to end the run. But now I know better. Now I know better. But yeah, as long as nothing too terrible happens here, this is gonna be a pretty solid PB. I'm moving the goalpost just a little bit. How's the sub emote going? It's in for approvals. The start time was correct, Stuart, and there was no problem with the other splits. I just had to retime the ending. I just had to retime the very ending split, so it wasn't actually as much work as you'd think. Because the run started correctly, I just did not end the last split correctly. Everything else was fine. Oh, hey, that can happen. To be honest, there's a lot of sub emotes that they're going through. Some people's are gonna get approved faster, others are gonna get approved slower. Kind of depends on whose plate it falls on, and, you know, the shuffling the workload around. There could be any number of reasons why it's taking a while. The rest of my emotes are in progress. The rest of my emotes are in progress currently. So they will be coming. Yep. Definitely just a lot of work to do. That's all. There you go, Kramer. I knew you could do it, man. Do 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 ba bum bum bum. Yo, what's up, Truffle? How you doing? These are really bad mines. I didn't know what to do. I was just stuck. I didn't know what to do. I just got stuck there. That's really bad. Those mine positions were just awful. Like, I just didn't know what to do. And then, like, Aku Aku and Uka Uka were, like, right there, too. I just had, like, nowhere to go. Easy time save for next time, though. No! Get him, get him, get him! Okay, good. There you go. But yeah, it's going pretty well, Truffle. The world record is currently 429.37 without loads by me. Or with loads, excuse me. This, as long as I don't spend the next 40 minutes here, will be a new world record. For the full trilogy, at least. Oh, no. That's okay. A little bit rough around the edges, this Cortex boss battle, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Do, 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 do. I'll just be at the end of this run and be like, wait, why do I have, like, 3 minutes to save in the Cortex boss fight? And then I'll know. Is it a category? It is. It is Taro. Full Trilogy any percent and 309% are real things, as a matter of fact. Dang, Cortex is like freaking insulating himself. Alright, let's split properly this time. Alright, finally over. We lost like 2.5 minutes in the Cortex boss fight, but there you have it. There you have it, and you have one of the more iconic